Shabbat Shalom, great family of Yahshua. Great to see y'all and have you all here. I'm Micaiah Yaakov along with Yahadin, Yahshua Yisrael. We're coming to you this Sabbath day from Abel with a great message from our King Yahshua from the house of Yahshua on YouTube. Yahshua all being capped. Subscribe and like. The house of Micaiah Eternal, the Lamb's bride. A bridegroom is at one with his bride, and this is the family of Yahshua, those who shall be called chosen and elect, and faithful brides to Yeshua. And we got some powerful stuff to bring you today. I'm going to shut this door. I think that wind, as we light the menorah, might affect our lighting of the menorah, and so we're going to shut that door there. But get your pens and papers ready, because we have an exciting service from Yahshua here at the house of Yahshua, the house of Micaiah Eternal, the Lamb's bride. I'm going to light the charcoal here. Praise Yahshua. Hope you're all having a great Sabbath day. It's a beautiful day here in Abel. A little abnormal temperatures. We're having about 90-degree weather today. Of course, this is the Malik with a coal of fire in his hand. There, as I believe it's the prophet Yekeskia Yadin spoke that concerning me, yes? Yes. And we now will light the menorah, and I was wanting Yadin to do that. We'll let that coal burn there, but Yadin said, Micaiah, you go ahead and do that. Well, you will have Yadin doing it. All these representing living beings who are alive and have joined themselves here to the house of Micaiah Eternal to bring forward our King, the King of all kings, Yahshua Messiah. 7 people of whom I testify, children of Israel, the seed of Yahshua Messiah, our King, working together here in unity to bring forward Yahshua and his family. Okay, we've done that. We've got the menorah lit now in honor also of those who are alive that have been resurrected from all 7 eras of Yeshua's choosing. And we will go ahead and blow the shofar. In honor of those 7 eras. And now, we'll honor Yahshua with an opening prayer. Yadin, would you please lead us and honor our King Yahshua?
Father Yahshua, we come before you here on your Sabbath and trying to bring your great name forward, Yahshua, and trying to instruct and train and teach these people under you. Father Yahweh, the wisdom and understanding that can only come from you and your laws and from your prophets and the meanings of things to be declared, and so those that have the eyes to see and the ears to hear will come out of the place on the hill, come down to where the authority is now, and to whom the authority was given, to your servant Micaiah. It's in your name, Yahshua, we ask all these things, and that you let your word go forth to all your sheep that know your voice. It's in your name, Yahshua. We ask and we praise your name, Yahshua, and we thank you, Yahshua, for everything, and Hosanna to your name, Yahshua.
Hosanna to Yahshua. Hallelujah, Yahshua. Hallelujah. Praise, great King Yahshua. Hosanna to King Yahshua. Hosanna to the King.
Praise Yahshua.
Hosanna to the King. All right, let's get into it. Get your pens and papers ready, because we have got some ground to cover again today. Continuing is that stone carved without hands, striking the feet of that beastly system and image on the hill that is prophesied to fall on that hill. As they work in unity with the same mindset as the Nimrod system abroad, the geopolitical system, to try to bring their own ideology and way that is going to fail. Daniel and all our forefathers of the seed of Yahshua and of the children of Yeshua all brought forward that in their prophecies and in their writings and teachings under guidance that system on the hill. The house of Yahweh is going to fail. The house of Yahweh, though the house of Yahweh and those who call themselves the house of Yahweh, who call themselves those who worship Yahweh, but they do not. It is written, you will know who worships Yahweh and who does not, and this is how you know. It's nothing more, nothing less than this. If they do not invoke in their name, and they're trying to teach, and Yeshua's name does not drip from their lips, every other utterance and thought is about Yeshua, they are not serving and obeying and leading and teaching, guiding Yahweh's instructions in any way. This is the simple discernment of who worships the Creator and who does not. Yeshua is his first begotten son. He's backed up and said, I've worked all this time. We're going into a sabbatical day of rest for me, and I'm giving all things for this millennial reign to Yeshua. And if their name doesn't drip with Yeshua and they're stuck in their own goddamnable ideology, they simply are going to perish. And as a disclaimer and as a disclosure, at the house of Yeshua, all we do is tell what's written in here. And we're going to go into what Daniel said today, what Revelation says, what Yekeskia said, what Keepa says. And we're going to do that Sabbath review. I am the Micaiah of Revelation 12, the her, a bride to Yahshua our King. With the mindset to be in total complete submission and cleanliness of heart and mind and pureness, to have with one objective and goal, to glorify and bring forward Yeshua. This is the day of Yeshua. This work will go forward. This is the work of the seventh heir, the seventh Malach Yisrael, as he and I are one, as this unified Yeshua confederacy. This is the house of Yisrael. It's the house of Yahadin. It's the house of Makai Eternal. It's the house of Yakati. It's the house of Xander. It's the house of Yazolia. This house is yours. I am your slave and servant. This house is yours. We're here to serve. Only if you work to bring forward the only man fit and worthy to lead and to be brought forward, Yeshua, the Messiah, the King of all kings. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go into a Sabbath review like we always do. So for your understanding and your precious minds, children, of what occurred on the hill with the teachings today and what you must do, you must play it side by side. And I want you to view the service on the hill, Hillel, the house of Yahweh, who are not the true seed and not the true house. Yeshua is the house of the Father, the living Father. The Creator's frequency abides in Yeshua, and all those who invoke and bring forward Yeshua, he abides in them, opening that door that the Creator and his ability to create and maintain flesh, as Yeshua is first given, will also come to pass through diligent teaching that proceeds only out of the house of Yeshua Messiah, our King, the house of Makai Eternal. Those things being said, we're going to dive in and play this service from Yeshua. This is his service, side by side with the service on the hill, because we can tell they were listening this week, and they prompt their children to do their work for them.
Yeah.
And put their children and offer their children. So that first boy that spoke on their hill service, and this is 2:8:25 here, spoke of the mark of the beast, and he spoke of the feast and the Sabbath. And this is that reverse psychology. We went over this. You can't take green ears out of a field and come to a lectern with a fat belly. Looks like we're going to have an early feast this year, y'all. We got the green ears. You can't pluck green ears up and take away a 13th moon. Here's the restoration. There are 13 moons in a year. There always have been. We're restoring it to your minds now. And there always shall be 13 moons. Always. Always. The correct calendar is here. Yeshua is the one who showed it and proved it here to us. And he said they have to come there if they want proof of it. But the calendars are here. And there's 13 moons, and you can't take weeds and shake them up at the moon and change the moon. You can't. So the audaciousness to send a child to the lectern and say that their feasts and Sabbaths are acceptable. First off, even if you had the right moon, I left you Micaiah Tabernacles 2021, last great day. You can't keep the feast and the Sabbath somewhere that's no longer has the authority of Yahweh Yahshua in a place where the teachers don't even come this way a little bit, please, Yadin, if you would. I think you're correct. There we go. That you can't keep the feast and the Sabbaths and the new moons. That's why Moshe 3:2, the Father through the prophets only speaking to the called out, said, your feast are a stench in his nostrils. And everyone here that's joined themselves to this work, and many, I saw them at Walmart yesterday, and they turned and looked me in the eye. Said, we're receiving your teachings, we know it's you, and we're simply waiting for Yahshua to come down the hill and deliver us to you. Looked me straight in the eye and said it. We rejoiced. They hugged me. 3-4 different people in Walmart yesterday. At the end of the day, grabbed a few things before Sabbath to prepare supper for us. And these men looked me in the eye. We rejoiced. They know I am Yisrael's son prophesying to you these things. I am the Micaiah of Revelation 12. My Malachim are here. He's one of them. I'm his Malachim disciple. This is a unity to bring forward Yahshua. Only everything else will be glorified and brought forth if he's brought forward when he's brought forward and glorified. Okay? So, those feasts and Sabbaths can only be kept here, please.
Then what you were saying, Micaiah, using their children is the same as offering their children in the fire to Molech. They want to project an innocence by using children and teenagers to say things that the wicked leaders on the hill
prompt them to say
in order to cover their own agendas.
And the children don't have a clue what they're speaking of.
So it just shows you once again, they don't care who burns in the fire with them, their own children or their wives or their husbands, that they'll go to any extent for their cover-up, using other wicked leaders or any of those to project the same message that really they're hiding things. So,
and we've made that statement before, but we're going to be repeating a lot of things. That's how you teach children. We're all children. You're either children of those on the hill, the sons of Hillel, the first sons, or children of Yahshua here. Now, listen, young man there, that young boy, listen, or his dad or mother or whoever, and all of you playing this side by side. Here's the true understanding. Listen carefully. I am the current and present Moshe. Yisrael was. He called you from abroad, out of sin, a life of sin, Egypt. You returned back to it, heart and mind, from the heart and mind ascension to the 7 hills of Rome and to the Egypt and the Pharaoh mindset of your leaders you're stuck under, you're refusing to come out of, that you know are wicked and perverted. And that was your first resting place, Mount Nebo, Isaiah 15 and 16 for your notes, chapters 15 and 16. Your second resting place is Yilim, Y-L-I-M. That was my first co-op number, Strong's Hebrew 362. Yes, going to Strong's Hebrew 352, a chief is in politically, which we know are the priest after the order of Melchizedek, as the Levitical priesthood has been dissolved. Then going to 0193, which is right over there on the wall. It was the tag on the truck that Yahshua rode at my right hand, building up all the businesses as he has done. His frequency is where all increase on that hill has ever come from. The increase of all 7 heirs or any man, woman, and child that's ever sucked wind comes alone from Yahshua. I am the Moshe. Your first resting place under the Moshe Yisrael was on the hill, Mountain Nebo. Now you're going to come to Yilim under this Moshe. Yahshua is the capital Moshe, the capital the, all caps, the capital Moshe, all caps. And he is going to deliver you into my hands. And we're going to go into that more. Our hands, this family. I'm not glorifying me. Everyone here's knee is going to bow to Yahshua, and everyone here will live for that very reason, in sincerity and truth. And anyone who refuses to do so will simply be the powder and ash. Okay? So to speak against those, yes, I speak against those who falsely claim to worship Yahweh, Yahshua, and cause you all to fall away from lies of the Catholic mindset. I want you to fall away from the hill. Pastor said a great falling away was going to occur. Y'all just see the Catholic Church and repenting and coming. It's the frequency and the mindset that those leaders have who joined themselves to that Catholic ideology that you have to overcome and leave out of. They're not giving it back. And do I work that you might all fall away from them? You better bet your sweet backside I do. With every bit of strength and power and all resources Yeshua has given to me. Us all here in unity do, yes or no?
Yes.
That great falling away is going to occur from those few handful remnant who will come down the hill and worship Yeshua here, yes or no?
Yes, it is.
Until that great falling away from the lies, you now know. Now this is only for the believer again, and all we're doing is bringing forth the prophecies here written in the scriptures. Moshe 3:2. This is not written to anyone else except for the baptized members of the seven era who entered into a covenant saying, Yeshua bought and paid for my life. I must do exactly what Yeshua says and come out away from the beast men on the hill. That's what he told me to tell you all. So, you know now you've inherited nothing from a bunch of buffoons up there leading you all, imbeciles, that you've inherited nothing but lies. You must keep the Sabbath at Yeshua's house, at the appointed place, the Malkiah. Remember, my original name that was given to me by one of those priests, and Yeshua set him in place to do so. For the first 4 months of my baptism life in the house of Yeshua, which is the house of the living Father, was Malkiah, Malchiah. And I am become the place you must gather, meaning my mindset to bring forward Yeshua, with him being in the forefront of my eyes, every waking moment of my life must be in you also. I am that place. This mindset I have is the place. His name is Yeshua, and this is his authority, and it now rests here. The witness of Yeshua and the witness of Yeshua, this family is the witness of the living Father, Yeshua. He is the living Father, the Father of the living. He and the Father are one. His words and the Father's words are one. And the he-goat and his teachers on the hill, all those beast men and the he-goat, their teachers, they are one. They're one in Hillel. They're her first sons that said, hey, Yahweh, these are Yahweh's children. They are. Cain. In using children against this work, they offered them to Molech, as Yahadin just said. So they came up with the announcements. You got anything right to this point you want to add, Yahadin? You okay?
I was going to add in there that without the testimonies of Yeshua and his servant Micaiah, they're not going to be able to get into this kingdom.
Come this way just a little
so
bit.
You just have to face that point
this
there.
way to the middle.
That you have to acknowledge our King Yeshua and do what his servant Micaiah is telling you that he wants done. And it's that simple. And trying to disguise things on the hill, I said, with children and lies isn't going to change the outcome that they're heading for.
Choir. So we're moving on to the announcements now. The choir, again, choir practice tonight. Again, the singing and the laughter. Your singing will be turned into mourning, and your laughter will be turned into bitter mourning. Amosia. All through his whole book, he wrote it. All the prophets wrote it. But if you really want to see what and when it's coming, at your feast at a extension, Yahshua's nostrils. That's when this is going to change. You want to talk about in your announcements, a lion branch, the lion's branch. And we know what comes to them, neither root nor branch. Who is he speaking to in Moshe 3? Those announcements there, that one-day event, it's going to be a one-day event for sure. For in 1 hour, such riches, or what they consider their ideology and vision riches, has come to nothing. Moshe 3:2, Revelations 18. My people, called with my name, and the bride and the bridegroom, there in Revelations 18, speaks of only one place, that hill. It begins all judgment on the hill, as it is written. So, yes, you've said it correctly. This coming up feast is going to bring all the blessings Yahweh has promised. What did Yeshua say a blessing is? Because all the things Yahweh has promised upon the wicked are going to befall the leadership coming up this coming feast. They did it to themselves. Out of every word, you're being judged. He called me on the phone. He's sitting right here in the congregation. I told him I am. It's Yahweh's righteous pleasure to give you. Goddamn stupid, dumbass lion. Everything you want from Yahweh in rejecting his son Yahshua, it's his pleasure to give to you. And you're going to get it. Because you think you're smarter than Yahshua and you named your feast after all the curses you want. They're all right there. Because Yahweh says anyone who rejects his son will cease to be. And not one word up to this point of Yahshua at this point in their Sabbath. Not one up to this point. Not one word. The whole world is dying in an effort to disprove this word. They use all that money to go out on the sieve glass to try to disprove this sure work that's going on here. Okay? So, Mr. Red Dragon, you're not in a sanctuary any longer. It's become a synagogue. Yahshua said it when they tried to stone him from the house of Yahweh. As it is written, the house of Yahweh tried to stone him and cast him out. And then they eventually, as pastor said, all 12 tribes in the house of Yahweh nailed him to the stake. Mr. Red Dragon, you're nothing more, Mr. Red Dragon, than a synagogue of Satan, the serpent. I branched out. Yahshua is the tree. Yisrael is the seventh branch on the menorah, the tree of life. Yahshua, the eternal tree of life eternal. He is the seventh branch, and I am a branch off of that seventh branch. A tree that doesn't grow dies. You can't remain stagnant with a group of men that don't have anything to give you to grow. Yeshua's been going on and growing in wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the plan for 2,000 years. And for 3 years, you're all stuck on stupid. Because the scriptural retard's leading you, the red dragon, his son of perdition, and all his branches that will be left neither root nor branch. It's written in here. I'm quoting, they will be left neither root or branch. This ain't taught. They've not been given an opportunity in China, in Israel, or Panama, or Colombia. All the leadership on that hill always listen to our sermons. We know it. We can tell what's going on the Sabbath day. You can too. You'll know it if you'll do what I'm telling you. Yeshua told me to tell you this. Run it side by side. And they're always looking to a way because they know now they are defeated. They know. Okay? You have no authority from Yahshua, Mr. Red Dragon. And this here is your training. And if you reject it, Mr. Red Dragon, you'll simply, you're finished. You're going to continue to reject it. The scripture says that you're going to, Mr. Red Dragon. Your prayer is going to be fulfilled. And they're going to be allowed to come to the house of Yahweh. They're going to come to Yahshua's house. He is the house of the Creator. This is the house of the Creator. This is the house of the Creator. This is Yahshua's house. They have to come to those who edify, glorify, magnify, and extol, and their mouths drip with Yahshua. He is the only hope for a dying earth and world. Not you. Go ahead.
The Masons and the hate groups, they're not going to come to your rescue, Red Dragon, on these things. Your pursuit of power. That posse comitatus KKK that you were involved in years ago are not going to come to your rescue. Go ahead. The pursuit of power is that you're still involved not with. The focus that Yahshua wants. They're not coming for y'all's rescue. We need to be focused on our King Yahshua. Yahshua wants all of us just to do what's right and leave the sin and iniquity alone, and using others to cover up your own agendas. Others can see through that. They're on the hill, and he's talking to the Red Dragon. And so the German agenda, already failed in World War II. So I don't know why you're still trying to bring that old chain into the thing. We know the Germans are part of the Illuminati families, and how do you know he's a German Jesuit KKK posse comitatus?
Well, his own branch testified of it in one of the Prophetic Word magazines with the orange "Welcome Home" sign on there. I'll have to. It's there. The sisters even sent it to me, so we know what office he holds in the KKK as the Red Dragon. That's simple information. We brought that time and time again. So that being said, Yeshua is the righteousness. And how can you be the righteousness and the Father Creator be with you when you're supposed to be leading everybody, Mr. Red Dragon, and not one person made mention of Yeshua or expounded on how to overcome, how to succeed, or how to teach the nations about Yeshua, which is the perfect character and righteousness of the Creator. No mention. To make mention in an opening prayer of a 2-3 hour service of Yahshua, to open it up and to close it out the very last day after 2.5 hours, and no mention of Yeshua over and over and over and over and over and over in your services, makes you the Red Dragon. You're the Red Dragon. Everybody on the hill, and this is only for the believers, the Red Dragon had opening prayer today. And all them little boy buffoon tears that grew up with him look with him for the answers. But know this. Them little boys that grew up in there that got the black keepers now, they'll piss on the Red Dragon if he don't go along with what they want them to go along with. The Red Dragon they get their instructions from. Okay? It's this simple. It's so wonderful. If I spoke only the truth, y'all did.
Yeah, you have.
Okay, now, we're moving forward to the first speaker. Again, they're using the children.
Yeah.
Okay? Talking about the branch, Nate. Talk about one of your branches, Nate. If you give a damn, Nate. He don't know. The boy doesn't know, Nate. It's going to be written, though, because we know that you do know, Nate. That first speaker there. Yahweh's peace is Yahshua, son. I ahab him. I watch that boy grow up into the young man that he is now. He desires to know. But you, Nate, are withholding it from him, Nate. Yahweh's peace is Yahshua, son. The tests have not yet come. You're going to be given into this family's hands for a time. And that will be the second half of the sorrows. Because it's
3.5 years.
For the next 3.5 years coming, once the wicked, and most of them are destroyed. There'll be a little handful of them left. They'll continue to be contentious down here with us down here and try to bring harm on us down here. It's going to get complicated, we said. These are the sure prophecies of Revelation everybody wants to know. You don't think that Trump and his think tank and the Vatican and their think tank and Russia, Putin's think, they're not listening to me, to this exact presentation? You don't think so? Or have you all went back crazy? There is one and only hope. His name is Yahshua. Your test had not yet come, because that burning in Revelation 18 that's prophesied, where the bride and the bridegroom have to come out from the hill to a protected place. Yes, this message is the protected place. This prophetical message. Now, prophecy is only for the believer. If you came here because you love prophecy, from wherever you were out there, you got to make one more move to Elam, where there are 12 terebinths. And we're going to go into that more. The test have not yet come. How can then go ahead? You have something to add there?
I was going to add to the comments with the nations and the leaders, like what's going on over there in Israel, in the Middle East, the same as going on in the Hill, is that you're all in such pursuit of you leaders are all in such pursuit of your own power, and you don't realize
on the hill,
on the hill, and you don't realize that the true power is our King Yahshua. You can use all the nuclear bombs that you want to, but you're not going to get rid of Yahshua. Or his family. Yahshua can stand in the blast of a nuclear bomb and sit there and laugh at you to scorn. So you need to understand all your efforts to wipe out our King Yahshua and what he's trying to get across to the nations. If you leaders really want to do what's right, then follow our King Yahshua. Bring him forward. And then that's the only way that there ever will be any true peace.
Now, you spoke, son, that first speaker of overcoming. How, though? You didn't give the how. Micaiah, in her Malachim, Revelation 12, through the testimony on Yeshua's behalf, through the prophecies that are sure in Daniel and in Revelation and throughout, that the beast men are leading you on the hill, and there's going to be one family here at the very last bringing forward Yeshua Messiah, right here. And all the kings of the earth, all the kings of the East, Zionist East mindset, must repent and come to here into this mindset.
Yeshua is the ruler of the earth. That's what you got to get out this.
This is the millennial reign, and Yeshua is the ruler of the earth. Go, Yadin, expound. Tell him.
When it's all said and done, Yeshua will be. He was the first and the last, and that he is Yahweh's plan.
Yes. Now, the boy, you said, count it all joy when you fall in temptation. That doesn't mean give in to the temptation, son. That doesn't mean take that hall pass from your Dodd, who knows that he nor you or anyone who follows those men on the hill are going to survive this thing. You're not going to escape. You know how I know? The prophecy says the wicked terrors on the hill, Matthew 22:10. Side note, G4 are not going to escape. They're mixed into the house of Yahweh, Yeshua said, Matthew 22:10, G4. Pray you be led not into temptation, Yeshua said. Are you begging him not to be led into the temptation of the beast men and their adulterous fornication? Led not into the temptation to receive their hall pass. Led not into the temptation to be prideful that I'm the son of somebody with a black hat. That is dissolved. Yeshua has done something better at the order of Melchizedek. Yeshua saying, Pastor saying Yeshua, they were all looking, who ordained and made you king over us, Yeshua? Who made the disciples under Yeshua priests and kings? He doesn't need permission from anyone. Yeshua needs no permission and no validation from anyone. Pray that you be not led into temptation from a black hat that would tell you such a thing, or that they have the authority to make anyone into a priest of Yeshua.
They just want you to believe their lies. So this way, once again, you're submitting and changing the headship away back to Hillel, back to Genesis.
And you want to talk about the mighty hand? The mighty hands of Yeshua are here. The Moshe, again, that's me. Anyone here who would deliver someone out of deception, they are the strength of the Creator. Yeshua is that strength. In any servant to Yeshua to worship Yeshua, as it is written in the book of Matthew, you must worship him after he was resurrected. They worshiped Yeshua. Even the women washed his feet. They worshiped and served him. To humble yourself, that Strong's Hebrew 153, that was my juror number. We brought that this week. The man pulled out in front of me. I've got the picture in my iPhone. And about ran me over, and his tag was 0153. Look that number in Strong's Hebrew up. Now, I told those people over here the last year when they summons me over there, I got over there and showed them my card, and I kept the card. It's there in my office. I would not have brought it out again. The strength and the mighty hands of Yeshua are here at the house of Micaiah Eternal, the house of Yeshua, the Lamb's bride, the house of Micaiah Eternal. Okay? And the level of abasement and humility blindsided those men, didn't it? Because they got to abase themselves to those they think less than themselves now, or they're just going to perish. It's Yeshua's choices. And then you want to talk about being restored. You have to be restored by Yeshua. He is the restoration of the kingdom and of all things. Yeshua is. He's the restoration. They are not helping they are not helping you. They enable you not to be here. They're working against you coming into this mindset. Whose hands are held up? Are you holding up the wicked Levitical priesthood's hands? We here hold up Yeshua's hands. We hold up Yeshua's hands.
Praise Yeshua.
He is everything. Dean, anything to add to that card that you want to expound on about that, Yeshua's hands? Yes, Bar. Yes, Bar. We're going to be speaking here in a second more about the hands.
One of the speakers that they had this morning was talking about holding up your arms, and what I noticed from that was, yes, the crooks on the hill, they will hold you up any way possible, holding that fake gun to your brains, getting you to trick you into following them.
Stick them up. You better worship us, or we're going to shoot you. We'll destroy you. We'll take everything you got away from you. Go ahead, Yadin. I love that.
By trying to create that fear in your minds that, if you don't listen to them, they're going to take what you have away from you.
Get those hands up. Stick them up. Hold up your hands. Hold them up. Hold up your...
Do what we say, or we'll have you thrown off the hill,
Hold up your hands.
It's just generating fear. It's different ways they use this.
I love that parallel and similitude for their understanding. That was a beautiful illustration.
And bringing forward their frogs that later on that they brought forward the frogs. They mentioned frogs, but they themselves are the frogs that are mentioned that they're bringing forward. Those are following the beast main characters. And just for further in the cover of their illusion, their deceit. They constantly bring others forward, like the laughing hyena and the other ones that they had come out later. But we'll go into more detail on that.
Okay. So going with that first speaker there, got a few speakers to cover, Yadi. There that Daniel, now listen, he wanted to bring forth Daniel chapter 7. I'm the him you're going to be delivered. I am the rod that you are going to be delivered by the deliverer, Yeshua. 2. And you're going to prove to everyone here who deeply to extremes greater than they Ahab Yisrael or Ahab Yisrael, prove to everyone here that you Ahab Yeshua and that everything you do and have will be placed at his feet, or you can't be inside these gates. You're going to be delivered into the hands of this family, Yeshua's hands. You're going to be delivered into his hands, our hands. We are his hands.
Exactly.
For 3.5 years. Cut short. Yes. It is written. There go your hands, Bar. Nate. Tell your branch, Nate, what I just said to you, Nate. Save his life, Nate. Save your wife and daughter's life. Save everyone's life. It's written what those wicked men out there want to do to everybody, that they're laying down, as the hyena said with. I'll lay down on that. Yeah, they're in bed with them all. And we'll go more into that here in a moment. 3.5 years. You want the prophecies. You wanted the deep secret things. Everybody knows it. Don't forget those men at Walmart yesterday. They said, we know it, Micaiah. It's you. You're the one bringing the true prophecies of the Almighty Yeshua to us. Just wait on him to deliver. That's Psalms 91. The house of and its workers are the hands of Yeshua. Do not think you have been tested, because to come here, you all know it is part of the fear why you hadn't made the steps yet. You better be preparing, because when he comes out, down away from that hill, out of heaven, descends down out of heaven, down out. When Yeshua does, you're not going to have time to grab your coat. You're not. You must receive this message now and scramble and cram to get the message, go to sleep with it on, over and over. All these things are being shown on the sea of glass before that throne right there, as it is written. It's before that throne, before this throne, before that throne, before Yeshua's throne. He can sit on me all he wants. He can stand on me. This sea of glass, I'm transparent. He's transparent. We're telling you the 100% irrefutable truths and prophecies. You've not been tested, because they are going to come down here to cause more trouble. We are the seed, the one true seed of Yahshua Messiah that Hillel wants to destroy. He brought that. We have taken root here. You must take root. There's no root in them. Yahshua is the root. In 13, my teaching chapter 13. We brought that information this week. And you know how I know? Yahshua said it, Revelation 22, I am the root and offspring of David. And guess what? I'm also one of David's offspring. This family represents the offspring of David. We are the offspring of Yahshua, Messiah himself, literally. Okay? All right. Moving forward. And emotion 3:2. Who and what does it all mean, Nate? Not left neither root nor branch. Okay? They put their own children out there as they offer them up, fulfilling that prophecy to Molech. Now, you know, it's a script because every Sabbath day that one boy speaks, or whenever he gets an opportunity, of Yedidiah. Set your minds for Yedidiah. And Yedidiah spoke. Yedidiah spoke and that talked about that spiritual internal tribulation. And that's what's going on now. But it's only mildly occurring. That was the first half. Here, after they received all that they wanted, and Yahweh said he would give to them for disobeying Yahshua and Israel, and him I left you Micaiah. Tabernacle's last great day, 2021. After they get that, there's going to be another 3.5 years where you will be delivered into the hands of Yahshua. He's looking for those teachers he can trust to send out who will help him. He's just a man. Not to make light of mankind, I'll give all authority to mankind. He's the first of all men. He always has been and he always will be. He just sits up there on the hill judging. And we're going to go into that more here in a moment as well. So that internal trib is going on. Go ahead, Yadin. And then they want to talk about, you know how they got to talking about that. And go ahead.
Right. So
anything you wanted to add to that internal trib?
Well, once again, they're trying to conceal their agenda.
They're trying to conceal their agenda. Speak up,
Noah.
Real soft.
Using Noah. Noah only followed the father at that time, and what they're doing by using Noah is, without even using Yahshua's name, they're not even talking about who the real ark was. Whether you want to.
This is Yedidi when he was speaking today, Dan.
Yeah, and then so Yedidi had brought these things out, about the internal and the ark and the family and the burning and everything. But
who is the ark? Where is the ark?
Right. And did he mention that Yahshua was the ark, or did he mention that who is
not one mention from Yedidiah
and who the family of Yahshua is, and those that are following Yahshua? He's once again, you have to remember from where he is that he wants to be out of from where he is. So the he-goat knows is really just using his position, and if a certain individual wants to get out of where he is, then he better comply and do what they want him to say and bring forward, because the ark is Yahshua. So he didn't even mention that who the true ark is there, whether it was in Noah's time or when they carried the ark. The ark, Yahshua is the only protection.
He's always been the representation of the ark. The life-giving frequency that was in that ark that performed those things, those miracles, rests in Yahshua alone, and to give that same power and frequency to those he chooses. And this is the family of Yahshua. They say, where is the flood? Well, guess what? Just as it was in the days of Noah, only this. It's promised the earth is not going to be destroyed by water this time. The hill is going to be destroyed, Revelation 18, by fire. Because what's going on now is, through this message, their geopolitic Zionist kings of the East mindset, of the Zionist East mindset, Those men listening in out there now know they're just a bunch of buffoons because of this message, and they're going to want to destroy the whole lot. Where is that burning Micaiah? Even the lion, the decrepit lion, in his pride, and everybody knows he might as well have pride tatted on his forehead in all caps and black letters there. But where are these prophecies being fulfilled, Micaiah? These are it. You're looking at them.
And also just remember the reason that they're trying to use the Yadidia card now. Remember, to them this is just a game, and they're using the Yadidia card now because they want everyone to think that the pastor chose Yadidia to lead.
And Yeshua told me 4 years. I mean, even about a year before they thought to throw their brother out. Erroneously, just for saying that she was here. That's what made them angry. The Roman centurion there and the decrepit lion.
They have their own agenda. They're
Yeshua telling me that Yedidia is coming home. And then again, a year ago, stopping here on the road and looking at him and saying, God, I done told you, Yedidia's coming home.
They're planting that same small subtle seed in your mind, like Hillel planted the same subtleness of what's really going on here. So we know that the pastor said he left Micaiah. Joshua chose Micaiah, and he gave the instructions to the pastor. It's not Yadidia that was being chosen. It was Micaiah. Did the pastor say, I've left you, Yadidia? No, he didn't say that.
Why would a group of men who harmed a child when they were 13 years old, why would Pastor Yeshua or the Creator leave him in charge with his little clique that he grew up as a terror within on the hill? The Creator in Israel and Yeshua would leave men in charge who harmed children from the age of 13? Really? What's wrong with y'all? I know you're here. I know y'all wicked beast men are here. I know who you are. Who do you think had Pastor arrest? They couldn't have done anything to him without help from inside.
It was the same snakes that had the pastor arrested. The same group on the hill.
All our forefathers told us who they are. Through the pretense of the BSCEP.
And they're the same reason, partly the reason that Yadidia was in jail. The same
one of the main reasons that are just as guilty, if not more guilty, with their frequency.
It's the same German.
All a bunch of boys in their teens that came here sitting around looking at porn magazines together.
The same German Jesuit mindset. You got these leaders of the wicked leaders in there. You got the bringing forward the mystery religion. That's the he-goat Pharaoh, and then you have the German Jesuit, the Führer,
the Führer,
the Germans,
with his stuck-in Skeletor face, the lion, and his Toucan Sam face.
Listen to our instructions or our rules, or else, and also.
I guess why I do this in this way, it's just mind-boggling because of the crystal clarity that every prophet from the beginning to the end spoke of this plan that now can clearly be seen who these wicked bastards are, and no one will stand against them, huh? Yeah, you will. You're going to. Because Joshua is going to allow those things that they want from Father Yahweh to now come. You named your feast correctly there, Mr. Decrepit Red Dragon and Lion. Given in marriage, we want to talk about, in Yedidiah, don't think we wrote he and I wrote a 40-page letter and I sent it to him twice. Yedidiah knows what we've written to him in Thou heart. He knows who did what they did to him. Same man and men did it to Pastor. Pastor told us that. They're the tares within, Matthew 22:10, side note G4. Who did this? They've done it to the children, offering their own children up. That confusion there.
And there is a he-goat in there that actually dangles the carrot, the Nora. He dangles the carrot, Nora in front of those over there on the hill. And so,
it is this simple.
And so what's going down with you?
Don't make light of it.
Right.
Go ahead.
Don't make light of it. Behind the scenes, the reasoning why in what they're using, bringing Yadidia forward, and with the more subtle plan that they're always trying to acquire that carrot. All the ones over there want the same carrot to stop the plan or stop Yeshua. They're
just like it was in the beginning, Adam wanting something that did not belong to him.
Right.
Go ahead.
And so once you do that, then you submitted your headship to Hillel, by going along with their plan.
With their mindset.
Wouldn't it be better just to stick with Yahshua?
That's who I'm laying down with the lion. The lion, the true lion. So marriage, that's interesting that he spoke about them being given in marriage, Jedediah. Because I'm going to tell you right now, let me give a little testimony to you. If a boy that ran to me before they falsely threw me out told me he said the carrot and Yedidia was going to be staying in buildings that I built, trying to snub it in my face. Okay? Yeah. All them men that rode in the truck, them boys. You know which boy I'm talking about? He ain't country. He's foreign country. Told me what the he-goat was telling him and everybody standing around. He-goat didn't want everybody to know he's the one that did what he did. That's what all this has been about, his bitterness toward his family. And that those arguments that he has with the carrot. Because the carrot's got to figure out they're all working against the carrot. They're all working against the carrot, against the Noras. All. Those wicked beast men means all. And so given in marriage, Daniel said it ain't going to benefit. He will give the carrot to him. He'll give the carrot to him, but it ain't going to benefit him none. Ain't going to benefit him. There he go, nor Jedediah. None. Jedediah been locked up, like Yadin just said. He knows what's going on. He can't do nothing about it till all he can do is fake and be a pretentious person too and play like he don't know. Because only the few tiny minute handful within have the money and the power, having their Masonic geopolitical kings of the Zionist East mindset, that might could get him released. You see the simplicity and the whole plan and everything going on? Internally, the internal trib, the test have not, this is your test to receive this. There ain't no other plan or message.
And remember, Carrot, this idea of what the true agenda of what they're planning, involving you, you can either, if you have two choices, just like Tamar was caught in a situation. She could either expose it and go along with it, or she'd be caught in it. She did the right thing. She repented and confessed. She wept bitterly and she got herself out of that situation. But if you don't make the right choice, you're going to get caught in it. So, don't let what these other plans are trying to involve you in, that aren't right, cause harm or problems to the body. Just think what occurred to Tamar if she hadn't got out of that situation. She may have been caught in the war between Absalom and Amnon, and she may not have been able to come out of that thing looking too well.
Now, and now remember, Pastor said, now run this parallel. Run Yeshua's service here with the Hillel service. Nobody ain't got to know. Wait, go somewhere where you're comfortable. You got a little soda pop, whatever you got, and run this parallel, and you're going to understand that what was being said on the hill, the perfect clarity of the plan. You'll understand it then. Okay? Pastor said, now then we'll talk about the Son of Man. Pastor said the Son of Man called him on the phone. He called me on the phone. We talk about the work and the workers. The work and the workers are the prophetic work and the prophetic message. You weren't called here to learn how to plant a garden and a field. You weren't learning here to call how to milk. You were called here to give glory to Yeshua when you're milking the cow. You was called here to let your mouth all day long while you milking cows, Smoky Ben. To glorify Yeshua, Ben. not he-goat. Okay? The Son of Man called Pastor on the phone. He's been coming. He has come for 2,000 years, and he has been coming. His coming will be back to here. He ain't been here in a minute, literally coming as far as driving through the gate like he always did. Who built this house like Yekeskia prophesied he would? But when he come down in here, you better be ready not to go back for your coat, else you might get that direct energy weaponry that they're wanting to use. Because they now know through this message, them leaderships up there are just a bunch of buffoons, bumbling idiots. They know it. Now, it is prophetic. You know how I know it? It is
Written.
It's so easy to perform this task that Yahshua has me doing. My yoke is easy. My way, it's easy. Now, and it's all coming from him. That's the main thing. It's all coming from Yeshua and those he gave these prophetic messages down through the ages too to make my job this easy to show who they are. They're being exposed, which is written also by Shaul. One of the chief duties of a priest at the order of Melchizedek is to expose wickedness and fornication and adultery and pedophilia. Yes. Okay? So, we see Yeshua's return, though. Now, if you want to talk about the word return, his return with his bride in tow. To those other dimensions with only those brides who drip with Yeshua's name, who've qualified. Under only his judgment that they've qualified. That's the reception. This is the marriage supper. You are partaking of the marriage supper now, and for the next 3.5 years being delivered into my family's hands, Yahshua's hands. You will be eating of Yahshua, and your tongue is going to drip more than mine does with his name, or you will be escorted to the gate, and outside that gate are going to be dogs, and we're going to talk more about dogs here in a minute, okay? So, his coming, trying to wake the people up for 2,000 years, trying to wake everybody up. It was always just a little tiny group within these groups that came out and followed Yeshua. They always wanted to throw him out. In every era, they always wanted to cast him out. He appeared, same way it revealed itself to Pastor and to me and us. To everybody in these eras. Everyone. You hear that frequency roaring around here, Yadim? What a beautiful frequency.
Yeah.
There's a bad frequency on the hill. Well, I mean, you now listen to what Yedidiah had to say, because Pastor said there's going to come a time when Yeshua's life-giving spirit ain't going to be on this hill no more. That time is days away. No, I know. It's written. Pastor said it also, if that's who you want to look to hear it and know it. Okay? The carrot without consent. Yedidiah and Mr. He-Goat, they all are working without the consent of the carrot. And the carrot, boy, I would reverently fear Yahshua rather than some bastard beastmen that don't have no authority to hurt and harm nobody. Yeshua's the protection. Because without consent, they gonna pop Yedidiah on somebody.
Right.
They gonna pop something on somebody. They gonna blindside somebody and put the jawhead on you. I'm here to help. I'll have all carrots, everyone, all the children. Daniel 12:1 of Yisrael, Yahweh Yisrael, Yahshua's children. I stand for them. Daniel said it. If Pastor was the Micaiah there, why did Daniel go on to say in the next verses, but then I see two other beside the Micaiah in the beginning? I stand on Yisrael's words. And for his children, they offered Yisrael's children up to this fire in Revelation 18. It's coming. Okay, so, okay, they want to talk about how they, just in the days of Noah, Yedidiah said, they went up to the buffet.
Right. Yeah. They're bringing Noah forward, but right away we know right after their service is over, they're laughing and joking, just like hyena, going to the.
They can like that Revelation 18. What occurred that one sunny, beautiful day in Maui? They was all getting ready, getting up, getting ready to go to work. They did. Was
Right.
they blind? Were they blindsided? Yes.
You don't think they've been spraying the aluminum in the
Nice.
atmosphere over the top of you for quite a while?
All these wind currents having control with the HARP technology, with the
Why do
wind
you
coming
think
in.
all the trees in the area are all dying?
It ain't red. That looks silver to me when they bringing that wind in. You know why? Because when you're taking them nanoparticles of that unclean firmament with that aluminum, then when they use that direct energy weaponry, fire come down in the side of men. Where'd that come from? With a laser that's invisible. That aluminum sparks like it's called instantaneous combustion. Go ahead.
Right, because it's lighter, it will burn faster and reach incredible heat degrees. And
They've been dropping the aluminum. That 2 weeks ago, that dust storm, I didn't see no red in that dust storm. It was silver, wasn't it?
they've been using the chemtrails for quite a while now to destroy the atmosphere. And
But y'all up there giggling, like he said, and you're all drinking and you're planting your seeds of destruction in the minds of the wicked leadership up there. They're planting, that's what you did now. And they drank from the cup of the abomination of that woman who's riding on the beast back in Revelation. They ate, drank, and made merry, giving in marriage. They drank from that golden cup in that Hillel, the beast men. They represent the Hillel, all riding on each other's backs. How can we deceive them, not to get them to receive God's message? Yeshua's message he's using through his slave Micaiah and Micaiah's family. My son, my brother, my father, my friend, my neighbor. This family is the Micaiah, the Lamb's bride. And this mindset, until they all did all that to the day, just like Noah, but not a flood. A burning, Revelation 18 came. Y'all all just going to sit. They make light of that day, of that flood. The dog-eat-dog, idiot, is on the hill. And the sheep must come away from those beast men.
Right, the references for to watch around for dogs and everything, to try to point down here to those that are serving Yahshua, is just their subtle way of alerting everyone over there on the hill. Just go along with us.
They're planting.
Right, planting the ideas that what's going down here is illegal and is wrong. But actually, it's themselves that they're trying to use
against Yahweh, Yahshua's laws. That's illegal.
They get you to look away with newscasts over there in the Middle East and all the other things that they use so you don't focus on what they're doing and the harm that they're creating in the body and what their plans are.
Because we see now how they use Jedediah, even using Jedediah. Does Jedediah know? Well, we wrote him a 40-page letter. We've already went over that. Jedediah knows what's going on. Yahshua is using Trump and all the world leaders. You ain't got to worry about all that right now. Be concerned with that. Concern yourselves with that. Because all Yahshua moving and shaking them all in one place at one time, and all those of the 2 billion he's resurrected from Adam all down, he chose and asked the Father to give to him. Him having the authority as he showed Lazarus to resurrect and over the microbes to do those things that he's longing to give to us, the 7 air baptized members of the bride, to come out, my people, from, so all those things going on with Trump is just to prepare for the ones that'll be sealed up in this time period who are going to go forward to teach with the same message being taught now. There ain't but one man fit to lead. He is the King of all kings, Yahshua. And anyone that does lead, it'd be because he sent that person to lead and to bring him forward in the lives of everyone. They will have proven to Yeshua that they will bring their king, him, forward. Him. He's strong. He's going to let his family bring him forward. Jesuits on the hill want Jedediah to have that spirit of jealousy. They want Jedediah. Hey, do you know what Micaiah? We'll take care of that this evening. We'll keep moving forward. Yadin, okay?
Okay.
Do you know, come this way, please.
Yeah.
Please. And speak loud. He's real soft-spoken. They want you. Do you know Jedediah? The he-goat says to him, these beast men, do you know what this guy down here is teaching and saying? They want Jedediah to be jealous of this work down here. That's what they want. Remember, it's written, it's the spirit that provokes the brethren to be jealous of each other that's on the hill. The spirit of jealousy rests upon the hill, and the he-goat is using with every line, signing wonder, and all his strength and heart, soul, and might to cover the bastard-like filth that he has. Okay? It's nothing more than that.
He's just a newscaster that projects the news, and in
unity with a grocery store clerk, bear, louse.
They're all merchants just trying to bring themselves forward.
They're just trying to bring themselves and their own ideology forward. You know. And it is shown it is going to fail. It's written. Okay? So that spirit of jealousy, peace is being offered. That cherubim to the east, that cherub to the east, the gates are open now. Yahshua is literally saying, let them stick out their hand and partake of my family, the family here of Yeshua, the house of Makai Eternal. And you're rejecting it. It's funny how the Father's going, hey, here's your healing. Finally, for the first time in 6,000 years, these deep teachings that are coming forward from the house of Yeshua, the house of Makai Eternal, the Lamb's bride. Here are these deep secrets, advanced teachings. Finally, that tree, Yeshua. Okay, ain't no man that's ever sucked wind can teach these things. Yahshua, the man among us who serves, sits there in the back just watching and laughing at y'all, just like sent us to tell you these things. We're not moving on our own. Our Father Yahshua works in the prophecies as Yeshua said he did and calls them about these prophetic works, and we work to obey him when we see him doing and telling us to do. Okay?
And they continue to bring forward they talked about the choirs and all this stuff. All these things were done just in a way so that you look away and look at this attention. But look at the choir that they're bringing out, the laughing hyena. He came out, and these are just the frogs.
We'll get to them in a minute.
The scoffers are making light of everything. They make light of Micaiah here and what he's saying, and they even make light of our King Yahshua. They don't even want to mention him or bring him forward in any way.
Right. Now we're still on Jedediah. Jedediah is still talking here, and you want to talk about corn and beans and peanut butter and in jail. Listen, all the food is defiled with pork. But know this, the teachings of those unclean beast men is considered the same as pork in the Creator and Yeshua's eyes. If you're partaking of their teaching, you might as well be going to them restaurants you said don't go to and having you a pork chop. They're leading you to the same place trichinosis worms will lead you to, the grave. Why is Yedidiah in jail? Who put him there? Pastor said he knew those men were there who did it. I know you're here. What? Have y'all totally forgotten everything Pastor did and said? Can't put it all together. We're not using Pastor to deceive. We're using him to help you understand the wicked deception of the beast men. The hedge of protection is around the house of Makai Eternal here.
Yahshua went into the temple and overturned the tables of the merchants there. They were the den of vipers. It's the same hidden den of vipers that are up there on the hill. They're hidden behind the scenes, and they make all the confusion and problems up there. But they want to point off in every direction, just so you can't see what's going on. And
that's the veil.
Yeah, the veil.
So that being said, there are two works right there Jedediah spoke of, and Pastor spoke of them today also. And know this, Yahshua has and will have only volunteers. Okay? So, now, next speaker, laughing hyena. Wow, laughing hyena. The house of Makai Eternal, the house of Yahshua, the house of Makai Eternal, Mr. Hyena, is the most basic prophetic message. Everlast dot and jot from the beginning to end points to the fact that this is the only truth being taught right now. Put Yeshua first, Mr. Hyena. Not a word about Yeshua from no one up to this point still. And all we're doing Again, as a disclaimer, is bringing forth what's written. Because all the players and the prophecies point to the hill. Everybody knows that. That's why the Pope tuned in to Pastor. Yeah. That's why they're tuning in to me now. Because they know what I'm telling is the truth. And through this message now, y'all expose the leadership is. And y'all geopolitical dudes out there don't want Nathan to do with none of y'all no more. Y'all done. You're done. You brought it on yourself. I'm gonna scream from the mouth. I'm gonna tell the whole universe who you are and who you were. And when I go on in a million years from now, I'm gonna be telling them all who y'all are. You did it to yourselves in your hatefulness for your children, perverts, and for Yahshua, our King. The house of Micaiah is the most basic message. Put Yeshua first. He is the firstborn. You are Hillel's plan, Mr. Hyena. That plan, Pastor said, running side by side. How close is on the hill? 2 trees. The mixture, Matthew 22:10, in the garden. G4. Which is here now. It ain't up there. Eden ain't up there no more. But that mixture is up there now still. And that righteous tree of Yahshua is going to come out. That seed's coming out. Okay? You are Hillel's plan on the hill. Run 2 of them running side by side. Like I said, realize Yeshua is in control. Yeshua is in full control. To all, everyone abroad listening, he and the Father are one. And Yeshua, Mr. Hyena, is in full control. And he can snap his fingers and make your microbes do inside your peanut brain whatever he wants them to do, Mr. Hyena. Yes, the feasts are set. You got that right. The judgment for this coming feast is set. It's set for your feast. It ain't going to be Yeshua's feast. It ain't going to be the Father's feast. You say it is all you want, but it ain't. They make light of changing the calendar. You go into that a little bit about the calendar of events?
Well, the calendar, if it's not correct, then how can they have any authority if they're not bringing forward our King Yahshua, not showing the correct sequence and how something's supposed to come forward?
When we cite the green ears, Yadin, isn't that a statute that's joined in conjunction with the sighting of the first moon?
Yes.
So when I cite the green ears, can I cast out an 11th or a 12th or a 13th moon because I saw green ears and go ahead and move straight into the first moon?
No, that's their own agenda when they do that. Just like the Catholic Church, when they...
I suspect that next week, and I'm already seeing the grasses shoot up out of the ground, that I'm going to see a green ear like I did this time last year in my yard. So all I want to know is, at that point, do I cut off the 13th moon, the 12th moon? We're in the 11th moon now, not the 12th. That's what they did last year. You're all ahead of yourself. Of course, Hillel always was working to get ahead, try to get ahead of Yahshua and her husbandman Yahweh.
So don't
y'all
give in
follow that same pattern.
Yeah, don't give in to Hillel and be up there trying
their
to
calendar of events.
Their moons up there because they're not correct.
That's the stench in Yahweh's nostrils.
You have to be nostrils. Right. You have to be down here.
Now, the women said this. The hyena said, and when I'm gone, the women, we had a conference call. There were several women on the phone. And they said to the hyena, you are already gone. Your heart and mind is gone far away from Yahshua, the King of all kings. Hyena. You're already gone away. You're already gone away. And now we know that you ain't never going to come back. They've already promised you a carrot or some deal for you, Mr. Hyena. This is no laughing matter. And what you think is the right way that seems right to you, Mr. Hyena, is definitely with no shadow of a doubt of turning the wrong way, Mr. Hyena. It doesn't matter if it don't make sense. It doesn't matter if it makes sense or not. So we just throw the book of Yahshua out the window, the law and the prophets. We need to throw all 613 laws out. The Father loves us. He wants it to make sense. If you can't put the line upon line and the precept upon precept and here a little and there a little together that points to Yahshua's family and kingdom, Mr. Hyena, you shall be no priest any longer. You're not going to be no priest. You are no priest under Yahshua. None. And I feel in your child, I just feel so sorry for these people, man.
And just bringing forward false peace on the hill the same way they do in Rome and through the nations and governments, it's not going to bring the peace. The only way you can have peace is to do what our King Joshua says, because that's where peace comes
Is that
from.
the guy the men they want guiding them on the hill that says it don't matter if it makes sense or not?
Yeah, they're going
So they'll put a 2 + 2 = 5 in front of you,
right,
and want you to buy their merchant BS, CEP, shit. Dumb. Loom.
Yeah, all the shit.
But is it? Before you open your mouth, remember where you're at, Mr. Hyena. Now run this side by side, and all we're doing is showing us the foolishness, how they become these simpletons and fools. Okay, so humble yourself where you're at. Remember where you're at. Before you open your mouth, he said, remember where you're at. That fear, you better remember where you're at, or we'll throw you out. Stick them up. Hold up your hands. You bow down to us. Shalom us. Hold them up. Stick them up. We'll throw you out. Shoot, I'm glad I got thrown out of the gates of Sheol. Praise Yahshua. Praise Yahshua. I can hardly wait till all the testimonies of the wickedness that's been done against the women and children up there come here. It's right at the door. Yes. You and you know what I was going to say? Well, I was going to say he won't be laughing then, but Yeshua told me you're going to laugh all the way to your last day. Okay? Yeshua is the habitation, Mr. Hyena. They will dwell in me, Yeshua said, and I will dwell in them, Yeshua said. Yeshua is the habitation, and Yeshua's name and his words must be a habitual dripping off of your mouth. Your lips must keep the knowledge of Yeshua, and I can testify that you for 3 years have not done so. I ain't a bastard. Okay? And not one word up to this point of Yeshua from anyone, opening and closing prayers, really all we heard it. Okay? One head, not one word of Yeshua, and one head, one rulership was given authority by the other head. One head, you want to go into that? One head was given authority by another head. I left a little space there by that.
Well, there's
one head, the scripture says, one head gave authority to the other head.
And that's what they're doing. They're sitting down for their super duper meetings. And
listen carefully.
And here you have the Pharaoh, the he-goat, and then you have the Führer. They're all sitting down at the table with the other beastmen characters, and they're in bringing the what needs to be said so they can keep their own life going for another hour. They're just trying to extend that fake power that they have, and trying to get you all to buy into the fact that that if you go along with them, everything's going to turn out right. But that's the way Hillel did in the garden. She said, "Oh, you're not going to die. Look at the advantage. You might have like the he-goat. You might have a nice truck like me. I'm getting myself up right around this tall truck every day, and everybody can see me. And here's the he-goat, doing his little shuffle around everybody, and starts yelling at them and tell them what they need to do. And
they're trying to intimidate them, or get up on them over top, stare down at them with that cross-eyedness.
Right. But he wouldn't even be man enough to step out on the road with.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. He is correct, though. He's just a paper tiger, as they say, call America, which he has that same mindset as that. So these beast men have that same. They're just paper tigers. That's all they are. Okay? Now, they're strong enough and bold enough to do wickedness and to try to find some way, as Hillel seed always did, to murder Abel and murder those who take on the mark of Yahshua to bring forth the tree of eternal life, Yahshua. They're strong and courageous to do wickedness. They rush in to do wickedness. It's written about them. That's not what we're saying. They won't stand up to do righteousness. They're weak in that way.
Right.
Okay? So, is that what you want on that one head there, giving strength to the other?
Yeah, basically they're just patting each other on the backs and, and strengthening their resolve that, as long as we have this group here together and the others are all going to go for it, then we can just continue in that deception. So the only way that you can do to break that frequency is follow the example of Yahshua, come out of what they're practicing and come down here where he's given authority. They don't have any authority anymore, so I don't know why you guys are sitting there listening to them, what you're afraid of. And remember, they can't give to you or take away from you anything that doesn't belong to them. So just come down here, where eternal life is with our King Yahshua, and you'll have your names written in Yahshua's book, the book of life.
Praise Yahshua.
So any other way than that, your names are going to be written in the books of the dead and judged according to the laws, and there's none that could pass being judged out of the books of the law other than Yahshua. He's the only one that passed the test.
And with that, remember that if you break one law, you've broke them all.
Right.
And that without repentance from breaking that one law that you're breaking constantly, or at least say, hey, I'm struggling with this humility to be obedient. Yisrael said, and he always did what Yeshua told him, I left you Micaiah, Tabernacle's last great day, 2021. Did Pastor Mr. Hyena say that he left you Didia, Mr. Hyena?
No.
Did Yisrael say, I left the idiot laughing hyena?
No.
Was that a false letter that was presented by the he-goat to the body that day, on that Sabbath day after Pastor went to sleep that prep day before? But was that a false note and letter written by the he-goat and his associates, yes or no?
We've reasoned that it is.
We've reasoned that it is. There are more here. You can't do as you will or as you please. We are Yeshua's administration here. You be Yahweh's administration up there, Mr. Hyena. We'll be Yeshua's administration, and we'll watch how that turns out for you all. The mark of Yahshua, of Yahweh, and all he has promised, Revelations 18. That's the mark that you all want. He promised in Revelation 18. There was a voice saying, come out of her, my people of Yahshua. My brothers and sisters who know this message is true. Now it's come that time. That burning's coming in Revelation 18. I am the another Malach after Yisrael, coming out of the house, saying, come out of her, my people, and do not partake of her sins, that you might not receive of her plagues. Because in that same chapter, Revelation 18 says, the voice of the bride and bridegroom will no longer be heard in her.
And the her we're talking about here is Hillel, so, it's
on the hill, the Hillel.
Hillel is still working here, just like in the garden, to throw you off track. And the serpent seed line down through the sons of Cain is still occurring through the sons of those over there on the hill.
Why hide, he-goat? We saw how quick the he-goat came out. Why hide, lion, leopard? Y'all just, all he doing is hiding. That's all he can do. That's in the women and children. It is coming on, the Revelation 18 is coming on you, hyena. It's coming on you as a thief in the night. And it's the voice of Hillel you're hearing. The women said, tell him that dude, he's hearing the voice of Hillel up there. They're laughing abroad at you all. I would not tell you that on penalty of risking my salvation. I want to be with Yeshua in the kingdom forever. The women told me to tell you, hyena, that you're hearing the voice of Hillel. That's what they told me to tell you. I'm talking about baptized members who left out of that place, that now have joined themselves to this work. Not one, not two, several. And there are more. It's going to grow. This is the mustard seed. You're hearing your teacher's voice loud and clear, she told me to tell you. Several of them. Do you think you're hearing Yeshua's voice, hyena, and not one word about him or of him to the nations who are starving? All the pain and suffering, all the resources and technology and infinite wisdom and knowledge you got, Mr. Hyena. And not one word of Yeshua. Sad. Makes me want to cry and puke at the same time. Come down here. This is what the women told me to tell you. This is what the females and sisters told me to say to you. Told me to tell you, you come down here. Let us reason together peacefully. And we'll sit right here together. Dean, others can sit here. Anybody who wants to witness it. And we will talk about everything you said today, and we'll reason together. Right here on the city glass. Y'all are using the BSCEP to destroy many on the hill. And others abroad that think y'all got the answers. When it ain't but one man that has the answers. Yeshua. We, as Yeshua said, are destroyers here. We are. Now, don't make no mistake about that. We are come now to destroy the works of those who are adversaries against Yeshua. Come and sit here at my right hand until I make your enemies your footstool, Yeshua. Who'll be Yeshua to me and come sit at my right hand on the city glass? Come, hyena. Be Yeshua to me, hyena. Let us reason together on the city glass together. And then we'll ask everybody who's right and who's wrong. Yeshua and I are one. I'm not coming to you on my own. Okay? So we are destroyers of that work that's against Yeshua Messiah. And that's a fact. They won't talk about the water. The water are the people. And you're dried up like dry bones, Yekeskia said. The Son of Man in the book of Yekeskia is lowercase s, Son of Man. Everywhere in the life-giving scriptures, the book of Yeshua, where it's talking about Yeshua Messiah, is uppercase S and uppercase M, Son of Man. Where it is speaking to me and other Malachim who are in one with Yeshua, the sons of men, that Son of Man is lowercase. The first book, when they thought to cast their brother out, he'd been telling me for 6 months, and I was slow to obey. I wasn't quick to obey. I had to repent of that. Was the book of Yekeskia. I called him and said, this is speaking to me. And he said, 100% absolutely, Papa. I've been trying to tell you, Mikhail. Yeshua, same man that called pastor. He said to you and to Israel. It was written to Israel and to you, to both of y'all, expressly rather. It's written to all of us. It was written expressly to me. I am the Son of Man that's prophesying. My son gonna come prophesying. I'm a son of Israel. The kingdom is Yeshua's. This is the kingdom of Yeshua. We stand for Yeshua. He's saying if it was his kingdom, his would stand for him. Well, if this is his kingdom, and you want eternal life that only he has to give, why aren't you standing with Yeshua and with me? You're dried up. You're the water, the spiritual Euphrates. Yeshua is holding everything out there back, pleading with you to repent. Those wicked men are leading you into a ditch, a damnable ditch. You're like dry bones as I prophesy to you that the spiritual Euphrates is dried up to prep for the those spiritual kings of the Zionist East mindset. Let us build a temple here. Let us make a Nimrod tower. We are the BSCEP teachers. And no man, woman, or child is going to utter a teaching unless Yahshua Messiah sends them. Might be allowed for a little time period here. That exception's going to go all the way. All the way to the point where them beast men or whoever's alive goes, where did that one true seed, Yeshua and those people that was down there, where'd they disappear to? The fathers can disappear. Yeshua can disappear. We're going to be able to be like Yahweh Yeshua. We're going to disappear. Invisible. And they're going to wonder where. Then they're going to cast dirt upon their head and know, Micaiah had it right. Why didn't we listen? Why? The water's dried up on the hill. They're all abroad. They're all hungry and thirsty. While a bunch of buffoons feed them dust. The Mideast Pharisees. Frogs, we've been over this. We've been over this. We know now who that same familiar spirit belongs to, Mr. Hyena. You want to bring forth the frogs.
You're bringing yourself forward.
The frogs. You want to say something about the frogs?
Well, that's what they do. The beastman character have their own cronies in there that they consider beneath them.
These are all the prophecies in the book of Daniel and Revelation, and those leaders know it. All we're doing is expounding as a disclaimer.
These wicked leaders, the ones that want the real power, they're not going to share the...
They're unclean spirits is what they are.
Right. They're not going to share their power with the frogs, but they allow the frogs to be the background chorus. So if you want to sit over there and be stupid enough to listen to the frogs chirping back and forth all night long and laughing and giggling and making light of things, and then you become part of the frog chorus. So if that's what you'd rather have than serving our King Yahshua.
With an imminent Revelation 18 burning coming, can you tell me what a cloud in the sky looks like, Pastor, has to do with anything with salvation? Why do they keep bringing forward Israel when one greater is among them? Why? He's a man. Among you is he who serves. He gonna come down off that hill, and the spirit ain't gonna be there no more. That frequency will be gone. And their hearts will fail them. Them men for a moment they're going, because they're gonna be a group of men come with him. Yeah. I know. It's written. He's going to descend out of heaven. How many times did Yahudah, sent by pastor to the lector, have to tell you the word heaven means the house of Yahweh? What part of down from the highest elevation that the court jester told you in Texas? Aren't you getting what the coming down is? Do you want it to be a magic trick? Pastor said, the one they make into a golden calf god, all things are being accomplished through mankind, not Casper the ghost and not your imagination. The players are on the hill, and they've all been baptized members down through the ages of one of these 7 eras, all the way from Adam all the way down to now. This is your Sabbath servant from Yahshua Messiah himself, King Yahshua. Your calendar's new, all right. Okay, so what does a cloud pastor have to do with salvation? You just made yourself into a god. The new calendar, it's new, all right. You changed it, y'all. You and your familiar spirits changed it, Mr. Hyena. I'm talking about frogs. Yeshua told me them frogs represent the dragon, the red dragon, and his KKK mindset. Posse Kumatas. All you gotta do is dig. It's an information age. Egypt. That mindset of Egypt,
mystery religions,
where they all returned in their heart and mind. Moshe was written in Moshe said when it was brought out by pastor.
Governments, nations, they represent all those. Hillel built her own house, and that's how she's trying to divide those away from Yahshua right now. It's the same plan as warfare and government. You just divide and conquer, murder and kill and steal what doesn't belong to you. Wives, husbands, money. It's been going on since the beginning, and it's still going on now.
So they will resort to sin to deceive and using frogs and stuff. I mean, benign information. And here we are on the cusp of a burning and a delivery and an ascension and a change and the most event, for lack of a better way to put it, please forgive me, event horizon that's never occurred before. A man, Yahshua, and his bride being changed in the very image and likeness of the Creator. And here they want to talk about a cloud in the sky and some frogs. Follow them. Turn it off. If you ain't believing in this message, turn it off. You're not a believer. You're not going to go with me or Yeshua or my family. And be part of all those who laid their life down for this very message. Ain't nothing new I'm teaching. All our forefathers taught the same message. That message is Yahshua Messiah. None of the Father's words will be prolonged. All of the Yahweh's prophetic promises he's going to now allow to come against those wicked. They will come. Their feast, Mr. Hyena. In the evening, the hyena, you're going to be lying down. When do you lie down? Don't they ain't that normally at night? In the evening, it'll come on you like a thief in the night when you're lying down at the nighttime. This is the darkest time period. You're all in darkness in the night. And that laughing hyena, he just lying down on the job is what he's doing. Job he's supposed to be doing to bring forth Yeshua and a remnant, a body to present to Yeshua, not himself, not Israel. The body belongs to Yeshua. Go ahead and lay down on your job. You'll be asleep whenever the fire comes, won't you? Prophecy's only for the believer. As a baptized member, you're supposed to be the believers. We're the only believers on the earth. China don't believe none of that. They're going to get an opportunity. Colombia's going to get an opportunity. Those people that make the ATM card so that he go and stick his card in a bubblegum machine, they're going to get an opportunity. Africa's going to get an opportunity. Israel, Palestine, Gaza, Iran, they're all in bed together over there. Don't look over there. Okay? All going to be lying down in that event. Now running side by side what the hyena said today, the laughing hyena. Because remember, the jackals, the hyenas in that family, they're going to be in Jerusalem, just running rampant up there, devouring everybody's flesh. This is our meat, Yukeski said, in our pot. You got the jackals, the laughing hyena, and all them beasts that the prophet said would be on the hill, just devouring Yeshua's people up with the teachings. That prophecy, Mr. Hyena, you are the jackal. You are the jackal. It was prophesied to be an inhabitant in Jerusalem, Mr. Hyena. Okay? We want to talk about dividing the land. Are you serious? Like Melchizedek, pastor's son, whose land is in litigation by you bastards? That land belongs to Israel's son. He willed it to him and gave it to him. And know this, he's baptized. All that land belongs to Yeshua. Y'all are in trouble. Trying to fight over what belongs to Yeshua. Y'all in trouble. I'm just telling you what's written, what comes from these curses of trying to come against the Lamb that you've made war with in Revelation. Mm-hmm. You've made war with him in every way. And then you go out to teach and you have no idea what you're teaching. They speak on things of which they have no understanding. No one's being dealt with but Emotion 3:2. No one on earth right now. No one. They're not being held in contempt. They're not being held in sin. They're not being judged or sentenced. Only the baptized members of the seventh era are on the hill. Only. Man. Okay? So you want to talk about the land. I can't even believe these things they make mention of, Yadin. War and rumors of war. Even the women said they're the ones that are warmongers.
Well, they just want to be like Cain. They want to come in and murder, take a hold of the land and steal. And you don't think that Rome wants all the water that's underneath this area? You know, after the nuclears, how are you going to grow food without water? They all want it.
Yeah, what promises have those beast men made, Jadine?
Yeah, and the connections. And wouldn't it be that the world leaders all know about that water too down here? So, you know, there's reasons why the Rome's over here today, Boss Hog and the rest of
running up and down the road, Boss Hog. Why y'all wasting y'all's energy up down the road speeding after Sabbath service up and down the road looking over here? Ain't nobody in the passenger seat. Who you taking home? Just looking to see who's down here and what's going on. So you report back to Rome. Go ahead.
And then at the what was it at the close? They were using some visual camera stuff.
Yeah, well, we'll go into that. We've got some more ground to cover. This might be the longest presentation, and they might even be longer even next Sabbath day, but it's for your understanding. Run this side by side. This is Yeshua's Sabbath service. This is the only Sabbath service you've heard. The other Sabbath service was Hillel's service to herself. Right. This is the Sabbath service of Yisrael Abel HaKohan to you. I am the son he said that was going to come, prophesying. Okay? So enjoy it. Hold on. Shit, me? I've always loved process. I'd be spinning. I'd have my popcorn, me a Pepsi, have my feet propped up, and I'd be, man, go on for 4 or 5. Go over! Okay, so war and rumors of war, that's what they want to use. But don't look over there. It's the land here they're all interested in. Overseas ain't under judgment. We'll talk about Yekeskel chapter 12. Israel's land is here. When the scripture talks about Israel, what part does the Creator and Yahshua have in God worshipers and with God worshipers? They're only dealing with the people who entered into a baptismal written covenant that said, I belong to Yahshua. He bought and paid for me. They're not looking at any other land or area. They promised us they're not dealing with them. How fair is that to anyone else? Their BS news, BSCEP news they bring, that fake news that Trump hates, any dumb CNN anchor, Fox anchor, or any social media brings what they bring. It's all they want you to know and understand. They can't. They'd be in worse shape than you did as being if everybody discovered who they really were and are. Okay? Not because of me. It is our intention. All we're doing is we are not have no intention of no one suffering any consequences. It ain't given to us to do that. But there is one man who has the authority to sentence. The sentencer is Yahshua. I'm just a messenger that shakes and trembles, always asking everybody in unity with this message, am I on the right path? It's not making no sense. Where are these people? It's so crystal clear. Where is everybody? These beast men are who they are. There's no other fit from no other wicked men that's ever lived except for them black hat, wicked BSCP people that Daniel 8 spoke of in Revelation 17 for your chain reference.
You know, Yahshua wants to see the ones that are just going to sit there and just wait till he goes out the door. Being caught like a thief in the night. When Yahshua leaves that hill, if you're not ready and you don't stay alert, it's all going to be over. It's not saying that Yahshua won't be merciful later, but just think of those that aren't alert and get caught in that net over there and they're stuck over there. What's going to occur on the outcome trying to get out of that net over there? So, you have to be aware, just like Tamar was caught in a situation. And
it's not a trap that's being set. You're already in the trap. You're going to have to dig out of that pit quickly. Is what he's trying to say. And we're here to welcome, to serve. I mean, I long to cook for everybody.
Right.
Do I not cook and buy food and present food to everybody who comes here?
Yeah.
If I not offered to your family, get a refrigerator, whatever you need or want, you're welcome to anything here. Is that not my mindset? Right. But when it comes to the adversaries of the truth, even before Israel, I couldn't stand somebody lying about Yeshua. That's all them beast men are, liars. And we're going to move forward, y'all. We got some more to cover. We've got some other stuff that I want you to go into here in a minute, y'all. So bear with us now. This is the prophecies that everyone has longed to hear and see, these things that are coming forward now. These are the seals opened up that only Yahshua Messiah, the King of all kings, can open up in your mind. Only. If you don't enjoy the true prophecies of Yahshua, turn it off and go your own way. And you just die with the beast men on the hill when their time comes. Okay? So, now, know this. The land of Israel is here. Now, it's in this area. And this is the underlying frequency with that land. The hyena and all them beast men want you all to believe that unless you repent and accept Yeshua's way and choices and what he commands us to do, that you can have all the things Yahweh has promised to Yeshua, Mr. Hyena. You ain't getting nothing Yahweh's promised to Yeshua because you rejected him. Only those who have hobbed Yeshua to a greater extreme than they have hobbed Israel will inherit the things from Yeshua that the Father's given him to give to whom he chooses freely to give it to, Mr. Hyena. Don't be convinced that they can give you what belongs to Yeshua. It's his inheritance, and he will share it and give it to whom he alone chooses, Mr. Hyena. Hillel is putting in her office. She put you in office already, Hillel, Hyena Hillel. She's on the hill. You know how I know? It's written. Hillel walks up and down in the stones of fire. Are you a zealous burning bush? We went over this. Where are the stones of fire up here on this hill? If you're not zealous with this message and with a burning fire to bring forth Yeshua, turn it off. You're deceiving yourself. You're not going to be in his kingdom. You're not. If you are that zealous stone of fire, then where would Hillel be sitting? It is written by the living Father that she walks among the living stones of fire herself. Pastor said, if Yeshua's here, your high priest here, he calls me on the phone. Where would Hillel, who wants to destroy mankind, be? And where would those that she would put into office be with the Levitical black hats they got on?
You will be burned up. You will be vaporized in an instant. Not even existing.
Listen to the prophecy. He's prophesying to you all. Okay? So, they teach no parallels, no similitudes, no prophetic scriptures, and only a veil of deception. And still, all the way up to this time, no mention of Yeshua. None. Not a word. Okay? The king of the north on the hill, Mr. He-Goat, and all your flunkies and cronies, and all those beast men, they're really the kings of the north up there on that north point of the hill. Now, there are 4 Malachim, the one to the east here, the east sheep gate, and then we have, we'll go into those things later. We remember those 4 cherubim. They are men. This ain't magic or Walt Disney or imagination of the Jeremiah 23 serpent men of the garden on the hill, of which you said you were today, Mr. Hyena. The garden. Well, you got that right. Hillel in the garden up there with the stones of fire, putting you in office. Okay? So the kings of the north up there with that Zionist East King mindset, the BSCEP, that's what they're using to destroy you all. The majority who will be burned, because only 1/3 is cast out. Boy, you're going to be thankful when you're cast out of that, you're going to be thankful you were. You will look back and be forever thankful that Yeshua allowed you to be cast out of that hill. That's the falling away that Pastor said had to come from the Catholic mindset. Pastor was Yahweh to us, but he'd been talking to wrong. It was always, that's why he cried bitterly at that lectern, because he was looking out at the majority who he know is going to be powder and ash under the feet of Yeshua's children and come off that hill and come here and join themselves to this work with this mindset. Okay? So they're destroying y'all with that BS, glorified peaceful solution, carrot. Okay, and several other carrots, and we're going to go more than that here in a minute. And the deal, they done now make no mistake about it, they done made the deal with the Zionists. Y'all didn't talk about the water, and there are a whole lot of other deals. Because they want to go out and teach. Okay? So, now listen, that first 3.5 years is soon up. Y'all going to come out for this last half. That will be the second half of the sorrows. Then your test is going to begin. Your real test will begin then. The book of Hebrews, Yeshua said, and Yadin teaches me this, says this to me a lot, reminds me, they think they've been tested. They got the Yahweh Mord, the South Office, and all these things that they'll throw others out who discover who the wicked people they really are, leadership they really are. But they're being persecuted. They're being tested. Now they sit and giggle and laugh and mock this work. Your test is going to come. Making it into Yeshua's kingdom is far harder than you ever imagined. And when you think you got it down in your mind that you've made it into his kingdom, far more work than you think then. Don't be prideful and think you're in. It's far more than what you're thinking. Far more.
The work never stops. It goes on.
Those abroad will dissolve the deals with the hill that have been made behind everybody's backs on the hill. They hear this message. They know now they buffoons on the hill, don't they? All the geopolitical people, they're all listening to this message abroad, aren't they?
Yeah.
All those billion-dollar think tanks are tuning into me right now, aren't they? And now they ready. They rejoicing though, because now they say, hey, there's our target right there. Let's go target that guy right there. I ain't scared. I know Yeshua is the resurrection. It don't belong to beast black-hat bastards that hurt 13-year-old children. Y'all, Trump, Mr. Trump, President Trump, and everybody in my family really adores you. I mean, the women in my family, I don't know what it is you got on them. They adore you, Mr. Trump. No president or world leader will be spoken of as being as great as you are, Mr. Trump, if you'll join forces to bring forth Yeshua with the house of Yeshua, the house of eternal, Mr. Trump. No George Washington, no Abraham Lincoln, no president is going to be even a close second to your presidency. But if y'all want that leadership up there on that hill to lead you instead of Yeshua, watch how that unfolds. I know them all. They're dropouts. Okay? They dropped out of the school of Yeshua. That's the school they dropped out of. Okay? So, yeah, now remember, they are those behind everybody's back that will utterly be burned. They're the ones that ride on the backs of the beast men. Got that cup in their hand, they all got drunk and ate and drank, you did, you said today, from. They drank out of what? Revelation tells us what they drunk out. Yeshua told us he even told us what they were drinking out of. Gold cup, look at us. We got the gold and silver too big and coming. They're going to bring gold and silver to us. We'll fashion a cup. Here, everybody get drunk on it. Our BSCP. We'll glorify ourselves instead of Yeshua. That's their mindset. But she will only be burned. Well, if Moshe 3:2 is true, who's it talking about? Those others will come later. The judgment gets here. Now, don't be fooled if you see some green screen or some bullcrap lie from one of these same news sources that are in affiliation and have the same mindset as the he-goat. That old stupid crap, the lion and the he-goat and the leopard and all them stupid guys bring. You can get that on any low-rent CNN green screen. Don't be deceived. The burning and the judgment is going to come upon the hill first. It's written. Okay? The quarter of the people being burned is a quarter on the hill. Yes, Shadeen?
Yes.
10 kings on the hill. 10 men. And I knew this. That light out, they came in and Yeshua drove by and he was near the gate. And I said, Yeshua, something just popped into my mind, Yeshua. I said, there's 10 wicked priests here that's going to, at the end, is going to be joined to. That one man will go from one of them, Bartholomew priest, Catholic priest, that went to Rome back, I think that was 2014. 14 went, like Daniel said, just heard this the way Daniel said it would. My forefather made mention to me, Daniel chapter 10 there and other places. They went. Now what they've done is they've all contacted, and now they're setting up 10 men over there, one for each of those bishops, over that 10th part of the earth. And a 10th part of the city is going to fall first. That 10th part, now the United States and North America and all those that are joined to that one particular kingdom that involve the United States, where the house of Yahweh is, Matthew 22:10, where the mixture is of that tree of mixture, Yeshua said is in the last days. That one man and ideology is going to be destroyed first. Why? Because all eyes are going to be on Yahweh. The Yahwehs. Y'all going to be the people of Yahweh. We're going to be the people of Yeshua. And let's see how that 2 trees works out. 2 trees. The tree of Yahweh, where his wife Hillel, when her mixture mindset was in his house. And Yeshua said, man, Abba, I've learned off you, Abba. Ain't going to be no mixture in my house. And let's see the house. Now, Trump, all of you understand these 2 trees in the last days. Pastor spoke of. I mean, we're going on to Pastor here in a minute. Everybody here could clearly hear. Pastor's frequency was talking about what was going on within, behind the curtain, and black hats behind the curtain. Okay, so she's utterly going to be burned with fire. Revelations 18, 10 kings on the hill united themselves with those 10 bishops out there. Yeah. They want to go take the BSCEP. And only Yeshua can send out a teacher. Only Yeshua can send out a teacher of righteousness, okay? I'm revealing those 10 kings that I have on the hill. Nicaea. The Council of Nicaea is going on the hill. They're bringing forward Jesus, the Christ tree, the Christmas tree, the gathering of the same mindset the Christmas tree has on the hill. That tree of mixture, Matthew 22:10, the Christmas tree, Jeremiah chapter 10.
The same tree Nimrod and Cain, brother. The
same Nimrod, Christmas tree. It's the same thing repeating itself. Up on the hill, tonight, when they go have their secret Saudi meeting after everybody leaves that hill tonight, that's the Council of Nicaea, to do it their own damn way. They all fall in the same box together as the tree of the mixture. 4,199 religions right there in the palm of Yeshua's hand, the goats on his left, and one tree of righteousness, all those who receive this message under sonship or daughtership to be a son or daughter of Yeshua Messiah. It's that simple. Soon, now Yisrael, now the hill, it's no longer a mystery. Yisrael and Yedidia didn't choose Yedidia. Did not choose Yedidia. That's not who was chosen. This family will be. Yes, even a little child is going to lead you all. And you'll obey him or you're going to kick rocks out of these gates. Soon you will see the house of Yahweh lifted up in smoke. You got that part right. Now play it side by side because you're going to hear his words. You're going to hear my words. And you're going to know what the man was saying is true. He was speaking the truth. But Yeshua, he fulfilled a prophecy. Yeshua was saying, and the prophet saying, they speak the truth, but they don't know what they're saying because the truth they're speaking, they're prophesying against themselves. And they want y'all all to go down with them. All eyes going to be on Yahweh. And then you say, in our work, hold on, family, because our work's about to begin. Every man from the point when he could bust through his mother's womb is working. Every man, woman, and child. When you're in your mother's womb, you're working. You're moving around, trying to position yourself to get comfortable. The body that the Father created is working to sustain itself even in the womb. But the work you do of Hillel, you ain't about to begin that work of Yahweh's wife. You've been doing it, Mr. Hyena, Mr. Jackal. Yes. You're the fulfillment of the jackal in Jerusalem. Mr. Laughing Hyena. You literally are. I will not allow it unless Yeshua smacks me in the face and says you ain't the jackal to be taught no other way. But I already been told he's the jackal.
Yep.
You're the jackal. I heard it from Revelations 1 white-bearded man. Okay? Now, he's here with us, brother. He ain't with y'all no more. He is not. Do y'all know that the word Yahadin means the delight of the Creator? Do you know the prophecy said that the delight, that Yeshua would be called the delight of the Creator? Pastor speaks now. We're going into what Pastor had to say. He said there was two houses. Go into that a little bit for us, Yahadin, about those two houses. Yahweh and Yeshua. Right. The house of Yahweh Yahshua or just the house of Yahshua? Go ahead. The house of
Yeshua and the house of Micaiah Eternal is the house that is spoken about. We're not in no ways bringing honor to the false house, the house of the serpent, Hillel, and those that serve her wicked seed line that have come down through the errors. Remember, all the errors in Revelation have the Malach standing before each of those congregations that have recorded the things wrong that those in each era have done right and the things they've done wrong, and all the things that are written now in this era too. Hillel worked in all the eras to bring about the end of Father Yahshua's house. She planned his murder in the beginning in Genesis, and it continued that through Cain and Esau and the nations and the governments. There are two houses, but which house do you want to be in? Do you want to be in the house of destruction? No, you want to be in Yahshua's house. It's the only house that will stand. It's built on a foundation that cannot be destroyed. It's not built on sand, and it's a foundation that it will never ever go down. It wasn't like the foundation that was started in the garden when Hillel crept into the garden and deceived them and got them to listen to replaying of sermons and scriptures and trying to pretend to be correct when she was projecting her plan. She always remembered that she considered mankind below her. She hated mankind. She hated Yahshua. And in her position, she's lost that right for her position. And now the position of the anointed cherubim is with Yahshua. He's the guardian of the earth and the protector of everything that comes from him. He sustains flesh, all the microbials that are in there.
The man on the hill among you all.
Whose frequency do you think is in all the microbials? All the microbials serve
Yahshua.
Father Yahshua, and they do what he says. There's not one of them, or supposedly they say there's over 20 trillion of them, but his frequency is in all of them, and they're still trying to understand what 200 or 300 of them.
Okay, now, thank you, Dean. And moving forward here, we got to stay with us for a little while longer here, probably another 15, 20 minutes. We've got to cover these things, run it side by side with Hillel service on the hill of the house of Yahweh, where the tares that grew over then have taken over. They're taking the kingdom by, or think themselves able to take the kingdom by force. It belongs to Yeshua exclusively, and to those he chooses to be with him forever to give it to. Okay? Because we're going to move forward now with pastors stuff here. Those two houses he's speaking of, which house do you want to be part of? And know this, I had a thought while Yadi was just teaching us there, that if you've done it and you bring harm on any of Yeshua's children, you've done that to Yeshua.
Right.
Now, they can't literally kill him, but if they try to destroy or harm anyone in any way, to bring some kind of harm or curse on anyone who has joined themselves to Yeshua in this marriage supper message, they have simply done it against Yeshua, and woe to that man or woman who's done those things to Yeshua's children. So
bringing it back on themselves.
They're going to bring it back on themselves. The two seeds, Yeshua's and the terror leadership kings of the Zionist East. And this is what Pastor said today, and hear the words of what he was saying. When y'all come out in an effort to stop the sacrifice and the oblation here, when we're all gathered here unto Yahshua our King, in an effort to stop the sacrifice and oblation here, in the message as it is written in Revelations 11 and 12, they are going to try to you have not been tested yet. I've said it. Let me tell you one more time. You have not, if you want Yeshua's kingdom, listen, you've not been tested yet to qualify for that. You've not. When you come here and you make that choice, and you're going to, this is only for the believers and my brothers and sisters who are one with me and Yahshua, this family here. We're going to be joined together in one, as a bride to Yahshua, as one body, bride, under what Israel's taught us. We are the body, pastor, that one true seed that pastors brought forward. Now here it is. When y'all come out in an effort to stop the sacrifice and the oblation, we bring forward here, which is Yahshua. He is the Davidson County 1817 tag 817. That was the first tag I had when I came here from Davidson County, Tennessee. Yeshua and I are one. 817 in Strong's Hebrew is the sacrifice and the oblation. A lamb or a ram to be sacrificed as an offering. And I do offer myself up as a living sacrifice for your sakes and for the sake of all mankind who would receive and glorify our King Yahshua. And ain't nobody coming into Yeshua's kingdom who don't have the same mindset to do the same. If it's your trailer or your car, or your van or your truck or your business, and you ain't willing to lay it at Yeshua's feet and drip your mouth with the word of Yeshua, the name and authority of Yeshua, and the plan here, you are not going to be there. 817 Strong's Hebrew, it's right there in Davidson County, right there, Tennessee. The volunteers. So you got those two houses, those two seeds. We know that the one on the hill and the one here. You make your choice. But they will try to stop that oblation. And that's going to be our final test. We're all going to pull together here in a hob. Yahshua Unity Ahab. Right. We're going to share alike inside these gates. We're going to guard and mark well who can enter and who cannot. Them proving they Ahab. Yahshua to the greatest of the extreme of any man they have Ahab. Because they are going to try to destroy us one final time. But right before we're all changed into the very image of Yahweh and Yahshua. Yes?
And that's what's going to create the destruction on themselves.
That's what's going to bring the destruction on them. That little tiny feeble remnant's going to come off that hill and come here for a little short time period. And when that occurs, boy, oh boy.
Just remember what occurred to Pharaoh when they had just as much technology in that time period for that time period as they do today.
You're hearing these prophecies.
And, and Pharaoh was no more.
Y'all want to talk about hands? Well, that's wild. H and S, construction. Don't that spell hands, construction? H and S. You put that all together. I wonder how that worked out. You want to talk about hands? You'll be Yeshua's hands, or your hands will no longer be. Is he coming through me with enough power? Is this a fulfillment of the prophecy, this kind of power and authority that I project?
Yes.
Is it a fulfillment of the prophecy Yeshua's going to come with power and authority?
Yeah. You're
going to come here and teach with power and authority to bring forth Yeshua, or you will not be. It's his kingdom. It's his administration. And this is the administration of the kingdom. And there is no other. I am. Yahadin is. Everyone who joins themselves to this family is the administration mustard seed of Yeshua. Here we go. Okay? So, not the hill, though the whole will utterly be burned in an effort. Yes, all those on the hill in an effort to destroy everyone here. And the wicked do not know how to the wicked out there. And the really wicked is knowing and going against the plan and the message and the law and the prophets. But those out there who are wicked, who are tuning in, they don't know at this point. Now they're tuning into us. Those they've joined themselves to, those wicked bastard he-goat beasts and decrepit lions and stuff. They don't know out there the geopolitical system that's listening now that know they're just a bunch of buffoons. Now they're going to break the deals off. Now they're going to go, oh my word, we got to stop this because they're just a bunch of buffoons. I'm telling y'all world leaders, it's written, those men on the hill are going to fail. Y'all don't want no connection with them. You don't. It's written they're going to fail. Okay? So, that being said, listen, those people out there, if the leadership on the hill who studied under Yeshua's authority, Yeshua and Yeshua's authority all their lives, don't know how to distinguish between the clean and unclean and ain't willing to do it, what makes you think those geopolitical people out there are able to distinguish between the house of Yahweh, the mixture, 2210, G4, Yeshua said would be in the last days, with the tares and the wheat within, and the one true, undefiled, pure, clean seed here at the house of Yeshua, the house of Messiah Eternal. They can't distinguish the difference at the Vatican. So their mindset is, destroy them all now, at the point. They're listening to me. Yeshua is always in the future ahead of them. I'm telling you the mindset that is going on right this very moment of that geopolitical system that is thought they was going to revive the empire using them men who want to use the word Yahweh but hate Yeshua. If they did build a temple here in Jerusalem, overseas in Israel, do y'all really believe the man that called Pastor on the phone, he's here, brother, receive him into your heart. Y'all really believe that they would clothe him in kingly, priestly garments and put a crown on his head to sit him in the most life-giving place in that temple? Do y'all really believe them wicked beast men would do that for Yeshua? Really? Wow. Okay, so no, that your test ain't come yet to make it. He's offering something to be able to maintain flesh, and y'all think y'all been tested so far yet? Second half of the sorrows is at hand. They can't distinguish, so they said, let's burn them all, so Hillel, what they're doing is they're pleading to Yeshua, give it to us here on the hill, Yeshua. Give it to us, only we don't want to hear what you want us to do and tell us what you want us to do. We want to do it our way, Yeshua. Give it to us. Okay? Now, this is Pastor, and I'm explaining to you what he was trying to tell everybody in the congregation. I was there in the congregation that day. I know all these people intimately on the hill, the players. All written in here from the beginning. Your names are written in there, brother. And all you got to do is find them. We here show the difference between the worldly minded on the hill and Yeshua's way here. We are distinguishing and trying to help you all to distinguish the true, irrefutable, 100% true interpretation of these prophecies of Daniel and of all our forefathers, Yachanan the Revelator, Yahshua being the greatest prophet with Matthew 13 and the dark sentences and the things of those sexual, illegal, immoral acts that were perpetrated by Hillel and Adam in the beginning, that are going on in the Vatican, and the same mindset of the men who run the hill right now. We're showing you the difference, okay? The change Yeshua wants to give us, or that fulfillment that he's entered of Genesis 1:26, can't be given by those men on the hill. Only by Yeshua. Only by Yeshua. And he will give it. And that will occur. That final, I don't even know how to say event horizon, but that event will occur before anyone goes out to teach. Because they're not going to, we're going to be like Yeshua. They're not going to be able to kill us. Okay? Drop a nuclear bomb here. It ain't going to drop a nuclear bomb right here. It would only change everyone that is of Yeshua. Yeah. Okay? So, those on the hill hold the Zionist Catholic agenda. They hold the scepter of Yada. Pastor was trying to tell us who held that scepter. This is the protected place. This mindset. It don't matter where you go throughout the universe. You got this mindset to serve and bring forward Yeshua in your heart and mind. You are a protected place, and all those who abide in you and join themselves to you will be protected along with you. Okay, so that being said, the garden, where's the garden at now? You want to go into the garden where you spoke? Now, we know they're listening because Yadin brought several sermons about the garden this week, and we know they use their resources instead of bringing forth Yeshua to a sick and dying world. Try to discredit this one and only irrefutable, undisputable message. Go ahead, Yadin. This is the protected place. Well,
the true garden is where Yahshua is, and that's where the tree of life comes out of him. He is the grain of the mustard seed that all the living, like Micaiah says, the sustained flesh and everything has to come from him. It's his frequency, and if those on the hill and the nations don't get it through their heads that they all want something, but the only one that's able to give it to them is Yeshua. Even the water that they're fighting over under Texas over here, they don't understand that the reason that's clean water is because of Yeshua.
Now listen carefully. I'm glad you brought that. Tell them why that water is clean now.
That's because he sustains the microbials through the frequencies so that the microbials can give you the safe drinking water. Because after the water is irradiated, unless those clean microbials are still intact, that water is not going to be safe. So fighting over something, a radiated hot zone and everything, without Yeshua, the water wouldn't be clean. So the purpose of the war, so they could grow food afterward, would be pointless without Yeshua.
When the reception occurs and Yeshua's gone with his bride that'll be gathered here in one Yeshua unity,
right?
They can fight off the water all they want to. What he's saying is without Yeshua, who has full authority over things with the earthquake, the microbes, who adore him to extremes, I'll have him to extremes. Right. It'd be useless. The water won't be of any value any longer.
Like Yeshua has told Micaiah, the microbes, they want to fellowship with each other, and but they can only do it according to instruction, the way Yeshua allows them to do. So that is why that we have to listen to him, and any hope of having eternal life, whether we're a microbial or whether we're a man or a woman, depends on if we're keeping Yeshua's frequency and learning his laws and statutes and not trying to bring forward our own agendas. Because once we do that, we're bringing forward Hillel's, the oldest thing she's had from the beginning is the structure of governments, religions, and warfare. And that's not going to be tolerated in Yeshua's kingdom.
All headed by religious men with the same mindset as the ones on the hill.
Right. So they just try to extend themselves for that one extra hour.
Who never glorified and brought forth Yeshua.
The whole time.
No, or today they haven't, even up to this point in the Sabbath review. Play it side by side. It's this simple spiritually and prophetically what Yadin is telling y'all. This is the house. Yahshua is the house of the living Father, the Creator. And that ability to create and maintain flesh, that frequency abides in Yahshua right now. And it always has and always will. Okay? So we work here to make, this is the house that everyone's making Yeshua's enemies his footstool. And I'm going to work to make everybody who's gathered here in Yeshua unity, their enemies at the footstool for them to teach also.
Right. Anybody
here will be Yeshua to me, to us. Okay? He's a unity. Yeshua is a unity. Okay? So, pastor's message continued. He said, Rome, it was one time Rome wasn't getting this message. And I've asked Yeshua this, and in unity, 2 witnesses to a state, Yeshua's message. Is Rome and the Vatican and these outside sources that they've made these deals with on the hill, these wicked men on the hill leading the body of Messiah on the hill, pastor's body there, his family, are they tuning in and listening to the house of Yeshua, the house of Micaiah Eternal's message here that we're speaking today? Yes or no? No, those out there are.
Yeah.
Yes or no? Mm-hmm. Are they?
They're going against Yahshua. So.
But are they tuning in out there to this message?
Yes, they're tuning in.
Remember, Pastor said, I'm quoting his words today, that he said, this is what he said. You can go back and listen to it, run it side by side. Pastor said that there was a time when Rome wasn't getting Yeshua's message.
Right.
So now I'm asking you, are the geopolitical sources out there that the wicked beast men on the hill with the black hats up there, that leadership, have joined themselves to? Is Rome receiving this message here from the house of Yeshua, the house of Micaiah Eternal?
Yes, they are.
Okay? Just like Pastor said, they are getting it here. And it takes determination in your mind to receive this message and to stand in it. Okay? The worldly minded on here, the hill hate us here. Run this side by side so you'll know what Pastor was saying. With what he said today, this is how you understand the deeper message Pastor was delivering. You're not going to blame Pastor because I'm explaining to you what Yeshua told me he was saying to you all. Not just him, many of the Malakim he sent to me, to my sister Yazalia and other women who were in the conference call today. They call here throughout the week. They text us and write us.
They're not going to blame Yahshua anymore.
You are not going to blame Yeshua. We're about to go into that. I'm going to let Yadin have that one. The worldly mind on the hill hate us here because we will not eat their message. Their wisdom or their message is pork flesh. It's the same ideology that will get you in the grave, the same as trichinosis worms will. Okay, now what it is that leadership on the hill. Look at what he's driving. Look at where he lives. Look, he had that same shirt on yesterday, but boy, look at his hands. They're filthy and his fingers are cracked because he gets up and makes a quiet living and he serves us wicked black hat beast men up here on the hill, which he never associated with, I can testify to. They're ashamed of Yahshua. This is the pastor's message today. Just like everybody, all the other Christians, that they're just like on the hill, them leadership. They hate Yeshua. He's right up there on the hill. He's a man. Yahshua is a man. He's here now, today. Pastor said it. I know it. And you better know it. You better know it. And believe every word that proceeded out of the mouth of the prophet Yisrael, or you're a fool. My sis said, now this is powerful. And I'm going to let Yadin go into this. Several of the women tuning in. Now, we were listening, Yahadin and I, and making notes as quick as we could about how those buffoons, idiots, leading on the hill. We were making our notes, and we weren't really looking at the television screen. But the women abroad who were tuned in, and my sister spoke up, Yeshua is working with her real closely, said, oh, they just panned the camera around, and I saw Yeshua sitting in the congregation, Micaiah. Will you explain to us why no, there are no coincidences. The plan is the plan. This is the plan. It has been from the beginning. The house of Micaiah Eternal, the Lamb's bride, bringing forward our husbandman, our king. and he allowed one of his daughters to see something that they did on the hill at the house of Yahweh, Hillel. Matthew 22:10, that mixture of those parents that grew up that had the authority over the cameras, over the prince of the airways, the decrepit lion, and the message that goes out is they critique every word. They're not bringing forward Yeshua, are they? They panned with their camera, they panned across. Excuse that word, just for your understanding in the quick teachings here. This is a quick work, as it is prophesied of the prophecy fulfilled. They panned, and boom, there was Yeshua. My sister said, and I said, no, we missed that because we were taking our notes. Go ahead, Yadin. Well, why would they want to now we showed it here. I said, hey, this is the moon of Yahshua. He's our king. And they know I've said, and I'm not going to say the personification of him. That's up to you to understand and believe in what Pastor said. They know that wicked leadership knows. We do it to bring forward the King of all kings, and that all the sick and suffering from the wars of attrition in Yemen and Africa, where these geopolitical sources rape their resources, their land clean. Where wicked men want you to look over to Israel, where they slaughter the Gazans or the Palestinians in Gaza. Or to look over to some place on a green screen, making you think some crap on a green screen is occurring, so they can pull some NASA crap off on you again with some AI failing false technology that'll never be, as a man's hands is the most dexterous things there is. Mankind cannot replicate what the Father, the Creator, has done unless you become made in His likeness and image. That's the only way. Through Yahshua only. You ain't becoming like Yahweh. You are getting nothing without Yeshua. But we bring him forward to glorify him. They panned a cross on his face. Why, Yadin?
Well, they've done this.
Now listen, brothers and sisters.
They've done this in the past, with Yahshua.
Get a water.
Hillel,
please, teachers, can you come this way just a little bit?
Hillel
come this way a little
Hillel
bit,
had
listen.
Attempted
and go back.
Yahshua 3 times because she hated him. She wanted him to submit.
Go back and listen and watch and listen to this side by side. Pause, stop, play, pause, go forward. They showed Yahshua today. Why?
And the reason is a twofold reasoning in there that they're trying to in one sense trying to show Yahshua, but for what reason? Like Micaiah was saying, were they trying to bring it? Are they trying to bring forward our King Yahshua, not even trying to bring any honor or glory to him, or not even mention him? No, they're bringing him forward for the only reason to create in their minds, like what Hillel did, so that with the reasoning that because he's there amongst them, that
would you like a bottle of water?
I'm okay right now.
Okay.
Maybe later. The reasoning that because he's there amongst them, then hey, if he's there amongst them, they're bringing forward that it must be okay what we're doing. Well, our King Yahshua isn't by any means taking sides. There isn't taking any sides into what they're doing. What they're doing here. He's actually there testing them on what they're doing, listening to the choices in their minds of what they're doing, trying to bring forward who they're really trying to bring forward, which he knows is themselves. So, in other words, you have the one side. They're still bringing forward the gods. They have a twofold purpose, or as the Indian tribes would say, they were speaking with 4 tongues. They're trying to bring forward the idea that because he's sitting there, that it's okay, all the things that they're doing behind the scenes, and that he's not against that. Yes, he is against that. And so trying to include him as a partaker in their sins, that's not going to work. And the other reason is because they hate Yahshua, and just like Hillel tried to set traps for him in the 3 different tests he was in there, that trying to project that if he doesn't go along with what they want him to do, or the way others want them to think about how they, the wicked leaders, are trying to project themselves, that if he shows any signs that he's against them and not going along with them, then they're identifying him, and because of Hillel's hatred for him, that this is the man that's causing trouble for all the nations. He's not creating trouble. He's the only hope that all the nations and the leaders, both in the nations and on the hill, he's their only hope of having the blessings of eternal life and all the promises of everything that everyone wants to be part of those. He's the only reason for all those blessings. So they try to bring it forward like, he's there amongst us, so that means it must be okay what they're doing behind the scenes. No, it's not okay.
No, he's here.
Right, he's here. So that must mean that it's okay what we're doing in secret, but yet just don't bring us forward. Don't expose it or whatever. Yeshua is exposing. He's having his servants, like Pastor and Micaiah, expose those things that are going on. So just because Yeshua's presence is over there, because they're on the threshing floor, and Yeshua's wanting to make determinations about the final of those that are going to come out of there on the choices. So don't be deceived by the way they're trying to produce it. They want you to think that it's okay, that just like Hillel did in the garden, to go along with the covering, and it'll be okay. You're not going to die. Yeshua wasn't going along with any of their sins or iniquities that they're doing over there, and the only reason they panned over and showed him on there also was in case they get the idea out of him that he's not going to go along with them, that they can turn it around like Hillel did and say, well, he's the one causing all the problems. So
he partook of it. He's been sitting here the whole time. Why didn't he stop us? Why didn't he correct us right here on the hill? He's doing it from here. Same way he and I are sitting here, but we're with the one true seed who's receiving this message, the true believers. We're with y'all, but we're sitting here right now. Yeshua's up there, but he ain't with them. He's with us.
They were doing it also as a threat to Yeshua,
Absolutely.
by showing him on there that, hey, if you don't go along with this, it's easy for us to project you as the troublemaker of the nations, where Yeshua is not the troublemaker. They are on the hill, the ones that are going against Yeshua and not bringing him forward.
Facts.
So why would you want to stay there?
Big facts.
Where they've lost their authority.
All the time. Big facts.
So, so we have to consider that Yeshua is the righteous example, and so these are some of the points that were necessary to be brought forward. So don't fall into the trap that they're in, that they've already sprung on themselves by not bringing forward our King Yeshua. And because he knows all their thoughts and what they're doing. You don't think that Yeshua already knew that they were going to pan him and scan him?
He didn't foreknow it. He lives in the future, doesn't he?
Right. He's beyond it all. He knows what.
He knew they were going to pan him and scan him.
Yeah. So he's aware.
With their cameras.
And he doesn't like their intentions, what they're secretly
doing
in the use of things. And
it's almost like a giggle, laugh, snub in his face, isn't it?
Making the same way that the laughing hyena
Is this the king of the Yadaim? Look at him.
And then they'll put someone like the laughing hyena up there to start laughing about it all. I mean,
and making light of Yahshua and his family in this message.
I wouldn't want to be the one laughing at Yahshua.
Now keeping that, we got about 10. We got a few more cards here, Yadin, and then okay. I'm going to turn. Do you have more points on your card you want to make here in a bit?
See,
you have to look over those and get ready now and say, "Hey, I want to share this with the body." Now, we here, Pastor was talking. We're still on Pastor's sermon. Keep that parallel. Keep it in a straight line. Stop, Pastor. Pause that. Listen to this. Pause this. Listen to Pastor. All week long, you need to dissect this. It's body of your salvation. Okay, brothers and sisters? So, we reveal Yahshua here. Yahshua reveals himself. When he reveals himself, Pastor said, he's revealing himself now. He's using the house of Micaiah Eternal to do it. He sent me to them. He calls me now on the phone. He sends Malachim to me and says, Yeshua wants it done. Yahweh and Yeshua want it done this way, Micaiah. I'm not working on my own. Of my own self, I can't and will do nothing. I want to be in that kingdom. I am in it. Because don't think, hey, the kingdom is going to come. The kingdom is now upon you. Yahshua is the kingdom. And 2,000 years ago, he said it, though expressly under Yisrael's words, 97 was the last of the 10 years given by Hillel. We're 72 years into that 100 years allotted. Though, know this, that's for that 10th part. But the 10th part of the city, a 10th part of those with the same mindset as those beastmen on the hill, fell. That city on the hill is that 10th part. They represent the 10th part because when that falls, according to this prophetic message, all the geopolitical sources, they're going to listen then. All eyes will be on the house then because they're going to know my words are the truth and that I have told you these things. So when it comes to pass, that you will know that Yahshua alone, who could prophesy, told you these things. Okay? So, those things being said, that 10th part of the city falling is on the hill, and that city of Israel is going to fall. Okay? It's written. Now, so they flag, they wanted, then Pastor went on, he quoted the scripture. It's a familiar scripture that we all know. He said, when they knew, now if the Father and Yeshua are one, let me say it like this. When the black hats knew Yahshua, as they do, they scanned him today with their camera. They know who he is. The Malachim, all the Malachim said, they know he's up here, Micaiah, up there. They can't do nothing about it. They're afraid because they know when he leaves or anything to offend him and he's gone, their end is officially come upon them. Okay? He is their beginning. It's where they began and they fell from their first estate, and he is also their end. Okay? It's written. So, those things being said, when they knew Yahshua, their father, the teacher of all teachers, the greatest teacher of any man has ever lived, there is no second or close second or equal among men. When they did not, when they rejected their father, sitting back there in the back when they scanned him, they did not glorify Yahshua as their king. They didn't glorify the Father, and he and the Father one. They did not, in their simpleton minds, they became reprobate and delusional because they would not glorify the Father. I and my Father are one, Yeshua said. So if he's one and they didn't glorify the Father, don't that mean they didn't glorify the Son?
And remember, you E-den, you will den of snakes over there, that Father Yahshua has left Micaiah. Pastor said, I've left Micaiah. He didn't say Yadidia. He didn't say the he-goat. Or he didn't say any of the beastmen characters over there. He left Micaiah. Okay? So, no matter how they want to change that or go around that and everything, you're not going to go around Yahshua, and you're not going to go around the pastor or Micaiah. Absolutely not. And you're not going to go around King Ya'ash. And he didn't leave Yadidia either. He left Micaiah. Okay? And you're not going to go around the soon coming king, Ya'ash. Gave you a gold nugget there. And for the believers, you're going to know what I just said soon. You're not going around the king that Yeshua has chosen to guide you. You're not. He's coming.
Now, let's move forward here. I gave you a nugget. Because I ain't bringing, I want peace and joy. I have not a speck of envy or jealousy. They would all repent, even the snakes.
Right.
Now, here we go. The adulterous leadership. Now, Pastor said Yeshua spoken. It's written about that adulterous generation. Emotion 3:2. It's not talking about out there. It's only talking about the children who took on that mindset out there, being led by their God to take that same mindset on. That adulterous leadership refuses to glorify Yeshua on the hill. Go back and listen to Pastor's sermon. You can get it. They exchanged the glory of Yeshua, Pastor said, for the vision of their own BSCEP vision. We're going to go to Russia, and I want to go to Hawaii. I want to go to Hawaii and teach a classroom over there, because when I get through with my class, I'm going to go sit pina coladas on a white sandy beach and watch the tide roll in and out while somebody fans me, one of my servants fans me with a palm branch. Because I'm a glorified BSCEP teacher. You're exchanging the glory of the living Father. Yahshua is the glory of the Creator made manifest in mankind. You're exchanging Yeshua for your own Yeremiah 23, those beast men's vision. It's pretty simple to understand this parallel and all these things going on. Hillel's sons have only been allowed. Remember, Yeshua told Pilate and the others, you're only allowed to have a certain amount of time and power over Yahshua and his children. Only, and that time is almost finished. We're going to go into a 3.5 year period, and the blessings of Yeshua are going to be poured upon this family. That doesn't mean it's going to be a cakewalk. Quite the contrary. We're going to have to trust in each other and in Yeshua first and foremost, and worship and serve each other. Okay? So, when you're all gathered here under Yahshua, our King's headship, so, in his administration, so, now the hill is jealous of this message, because this message is the message of the King of all kings, Yahshua. Okay? Pastor, Yeshua, his house, his family are teaching the truth. That you are now exchanging to go up and down the hill in the earth. They're going up and down the hill as representatives of Hillel. You're all going up and down. On the side, thinking you're going to have salvation to go sit in some metal chair at service of Hillel, the service up there. This is Yeshua's Sabbath service. These are your true Sabbaths. This is the one and only true Sabbath. Abroad the whole face of this earth right now, this is your only Sabbath service today. That was Hillel's service up there. Choose you this day which tree. The house of Hillel, Yahweh Hillel, his wife and bride, or the house of Yahshua and his bride. Choose you this day. Now, so you know, for lies, you've exchanged it all, and that's fulfilled. You've exchanged the truth for a lie. You'll know you only inherited lies. Emotion 3:2. He's not talking to nobody else. Only one family he's talking to in these living. Nobody else believes. Only those who profess to believe have to have the process expounded and magnified, extolled as a teacher, a priest after the order of Melchizedek is bound to do under the law. So if this ain't it, where could you go to get it? Because in 3.5 years, have you heard one prophetic word that glorifies Yeshua come out of anyone's mouth on that hill? No. None. Okay, and all those who gather here testify of it. It only takes 2 witnesses, and there's a great hand, and it's growing every week. Okay? And then you honor, they are the ones. Play this what the pastor said now. And all we're doing again is that disclaimer, is bringing forth Yahshua and the prophecies. Halloween is the bringing forward and the telling everybody to stand up for a dead person. It's all saint. Israel was our saint, and we'll bring him forward. Yeshua wasn't no saint. He wasn't the greatest saint of all saints. Please stand. If you're all, please stand. And I ain't really wanting you to stand for Yeshua. It's me. I want to see it, y'all. I'm looking out to see who's still in unity with my perversion. Here you go, perversion. That's called the observance of Halloween. Don't matter if it's done on 10/31 or not. Every time the man tells you to stand for a man he perceives to be dead, he's God worshiping, leading you into Halloween, All Saints Day. It's honoring the dead. It's one and the same. Today's 2:08. Next week on 2:15, he does that, it will eventually be 10:31 in your mind. Wake up to deeper to intellectual reasoning and thinking. This is the first resurrection. Hope you're resurrected. Okay? I've been given that authority. Pastor said, one of my sons is going to be given the authority to resurrect. I'm that son. But I can't resurrect nobody don't want to be resurrected, can I? Is that possible? If a person don't want to be part of Yeshua's kingdom, his kingdom being the resurrecting kingdom, how could they be resurrected spiritually in any way? It's the microbes that are flowing through our spirit that make up a person's spirit and character and body and the firmament and all things. A frequency of microbes. Yeshua being the source. Okay? So those things being said, the he-goat is, and all those men up there are, so this is the message on the sea of glass here that you're receiving here. And so therefore, we know that's pretty simple now. It's right here in front of this throne, sitting before the throne, just as it is written. It's only a little tiny little mustard seed on the entire earth that he's dealing with, and these prophecies pertain to or relate to or written to or about or for or by, ever. Okay? Hillel's sons are on the hill. The pastor spoke about Hillel's first sons again, 22:10 of Matithia, G4. They can't bring this message. The lion and the he-goat and Yedidiah, they left their first estate knowing all things on the hill belong to Yeshua. Pastor said Jubilee. Pastor spoke about Jubilee year. What does the word Strong's Hebrew 8059 mean? Won't y'all look that up? It means, what does it mean, Yadin? Means the Jubilee year of release. The Jubilee year of release. Is this your Jubilee year of release? Are we going to be jubilant over King Yahshua and his coronation? It's a yes or no question. Will you come here to rejoice in jubilance over our King Yahshua? Yes or no? Her sons, pastor said, threw it away like snakes hibernating in the wintertime. Okay? They did not want to retain Yeshua in their knowledge on the hill. Remember, pastor said, I know you're here. I looked out at the I know y'all are here. Y'all snakes are here. Well, Yadin has shown you Daniel chapter 8, Revelation 17, and Yadin and I and Yakati and everyone gathered here has explained these things over and over and over. So, pastor said, okay, so they don't even know what they throw away. They don't even know. Yadin said, man, they're not getting what they're throwing away. Yeshua's people will be protected. Only Yeshua's people who claim to serve Yahweh and hate Yahshua will be powder and ash, with no mention of Yeshua, even up to this point in Hillel's service on the hill at the house of Yahweh on 2/8/2025. Run it parallel with this one. Okay? Some, like as Jeremiah said, remember, it will talk about, pastor said it's going to heat up. It's going to something's going to boil over with this message in zeal, and they're going to come down here. You remember the Moloch that was sent to Jeremiah said, Jeremiah, what is it you see? He said, I see a pot, and it tipped over from the north, and it's now facing the south, and it boiled over and it spilled out to the south. Sounds like a flood of people who decided, hey, we want to live. We're going to the house of Yeshua. Remember, Yukinski said that and Jeremiah said it too, this is my pot, and this is my meat, the wicked beastmen at the very last would tell everybody. Some in that pot, Mr. Beastman, body of Messiah, are going to tip over and boil over with righteous indignation. Emotion 9 and verse 1. The pillars will come down on the heads of the people. Their counsel of the wicked, the counselors, those wicked counselors on the hill, who have really no authority to counsel a frog. That's what their counsel is, the counsel of the 3 frogs and unclean spirits. That's all they spoke about today. Okay? So it's going to boil over like a silver pot in a man's yard. And they're going to stand up against the wicked on the hill, and they're going to come here, as Micaiah said, and they will learn no war no more out of here. They're going to learn why they made war here. And then they're going to learn, don't ever do what those wicked beastmen with those black hats.
Right.
They're going to learn not to make war in that way. Again, we're always going to be going out here with the full armor of Yahshua's, his army. And we are always going to be destroying the enemies of Yahshua through teaching. No violence, ain't no strikers going to be in there. But if you think I ain't going to cut your ear off if you come against Yeshua, you got the wrong dude. This family is going to stand for Yahshua now.
Yeah, don't mistake kindness for weakness.
Do not mistake kindness for weakness. Okay? So, you got to come here and learn war no more, as Yeshua and the prophets have taught. You got to come here. The Father protects those who ahab Yeshua above all else. He is the house of the living Father. And we had our ears all that we ahab the house of the living Father above all else. The name of the house of the living Father is Yahshua. He don't live in houses made of tin and concrete that's cracking, about to fall down. I ain't going down in that basement. I wouldn't either if you look at all the cracks up there on that floor. Especially when that burning comes. You run down there, it's going to, I don't know, I think the quick would be better than being bashed in the head with some concrete. Down in that basement over there. I've been over there. I know what's in that basement. I built the bathroom. Yeshua used me to build the bathrooms down there. Been down there, okay? So, we see there that that ain't the protection over there in that basement or around those people, that's for sure. 2 Kepha 3, 7, and 10. They in heaven, how many times once again now, Pastor made mention 2 Kepha 3, 7, and 10. How many times did Pastor have to send Kahan Yehuda to the lectern to say that the correct translation of heaven is the house of Yahweh? They are reserved to the end of this age that Yahadim brought this week in 3 sermons, part 1, 2, and 3, about the end of the age. And these dark things, it was because of the immoral, wicked sexual acts of perversion against Yahweh, his laws, and against Yahshua and his family on the hill, that little tiny feeble remnant mustard seed that's going to come join themselves to here, as others already are doing so, and it's growing. Or you're just simply reserved to the burning, that direct energy come down out of heaven until you be no more. Okay? So, and Yeshua will be here again. He is here. He's Yeshua to me and all those who are gathered here. But who built his house? So Yeshua's already come for 2,000 years. He's in more than one place at one time. But in that 3.5 year period, he will be in and out of here, instructing me on how to guide you all and how to bring forward that administration that Yeshua once brought forward. And this is how it's going to go. And it's going to go no other way except expressly and explicitly how Yeshua wants it to go. Period.
Right, period.
And they thought that they could pan him and threaten him. He'd just pick it up and go start it with other men and other women somewhere else that love him, ahab him, to the greatest of extremes, greater than any man ever. Okay? So, all the stones in Yeshua's breastplate, when heated up, now I'm going to give you this real quick, and Amalek told me, you want to tell them that when those stones are heated up on the high priest's breastplate,
yeah, when those stones are heated, they're all heated under pressure. They go through a change.
And if you're in his midst when that burning comes and he's got that breastplate on, go ahead.
Right there. And in that change, these stones, they're not destroyed. The stones they're in that breastplate. They take tremendous amounts of energy, and that's there's more to it than just that. But needless to say, the change will bring forward the best of the character in all those that are serving Yahshua,
and that are in his presence, gathered with him on that day of gathering. That this point of gathering we're entering into now, that last 3.5, will you be, as Yadin said, Micaiah, they're going to come as a captive audience. Of course, that's a prophecy. Captivity is going to be led away from the hill. And when that high priest breastplate shines, that only with Yeshua, that whatever heat would come here, feel like a cool, warm, tropical breeze, and will be changed. And boy, we will be going out then, but only the ones Yeshua chooses, okay? So, we had some couple days of thick fog, and in a vision I was shown, imagine, a thick cloud that no one for our protection could see down here into the house of Micaiah in the land of Israel, here, the house of Micaiah eternal, that belongs to Yeshua. Imagine that breastplate lit up. Wouldn't it project off that fog, that white cloudy fog, just like all kinds of colors inside that fog, that cloud? Wouldn't it just project everywhere and be just so beautiful? And we all step into it, and we're invisible. We're gone. We're changed, made into what the Father's made Yeshua into, okay? So that's the stones there. A new heaven, a new house of Yahshua, him being the house of the living Father. A new earth, being a new location for the body that has been prepared here by Yahshua, telling me what to do, what to build. They wanted to pan over Yahshua today. Well, we're looking forward to them. What? Go ahead. Oh boy, I'm not going to say it. Okay, so Yahadin wanted to bring some things here as well that he made mention in the notes. Bear with us about 5 more minutes here, 10 more minutes, and we'll close out. This is so powerful and wonderful. These are the marriage supper teachings. This is the plan. It always has been. It always will be, and there is no other. Okay.
Oh yeah,
righteous or sin. I'm not going to testify on my behalf.
Well, to be point blank about it, those that were.
And this is Pastor speaking, and he's expounding on Pastor's sermon today.
The pastor, has told many times in many ways, he left Micaiah, but he brought forward only Micaiah. He didn't bring any other names that he was bringing forward. The idea that a group would try to pull for their own selves together to make themselves prominent, that's not in keeping with Yahshua. Yahshua takes that which is the least among all his brethren, just to which is showing that even though a lot of us feel that there's a lot of things we may have done or whatever, but if we do what's right and we repent and get past these things, and the leader that Yahshua has left now, Micaiah. Micaiah takes things that we say on the confession part 2 that he forgives just like Yahshua does. So don't be afraid thinking that that for whatever reason that you're holding back that you won't be forgiven for. Just remember that Micaiah is the and that
loud. He's got a gentle voice here. I have to remind him to speak up. Please project it.
And the Yadin over there, they're trying to bring forward their own little group to get you guys to follow themselves instead of those that you've been instructed to follow. So, you don't have to listen to laughing hyenas or circus clowns. They're over there on the hill. All you need to do is follow who Yahshua left. You wouldn't when the pastor was here, and still is. Well, you're just not aware of it in what ways and so forth. But when the pastor was speaking, you never would have questioned what the pastor said. There would be any other way. Well, the pastor told you point blank who he left here in charge, and he didn't use any of the other names that I already mentioned. He didn't use the names of any of those leaders on the hill. You know, the he-goat. He didn't use any of the other beastmen characters. He didn't signify the louse on the hill, the dancing bear with the ball. You know, he didn't signify the court jester or any of these characters that we can't use their names legally, you know, on the air, but they but we know who these characters are over there, and he didn't mention the German Jesuits on the hill over there to lead. He didn't mention Yadidia or the laughing hyena or any of these men. So of course they're going to try to pull the truth. Try to pull the truth over the disguise over the top so you don't see it. But and then also he didn't leave the Zionist. Yahshua didn't leave the Zionist nations in charge either, because they're you know that.
The kings of the East, Zionist East.
Yeah, he didn't leave the mystery religions and the other nations that are still just doing the same thing they're doing over the hill, trying to bring themselves forward. The best way any of the leaders that are out in the nations, the best thing they can do so that they can have the blessings also is submit to Yahshua.
Yeshua's come to bring life abundant for everyone.
For everyone.
For all nations, languages, tribes, and tongues.
And this is why, you know, leaders like
we bring forth Yeshua here. It is our will and desire to see joy and peace and abundant living in life for everyone. And that's only in Yeshua.
Right. And remember, Yeshua is wanting to see the leaders that are going to bring him forward also. So
that's what he's looking to see.
You know, when you have great leaders like Trump and the other leaders that if they would just bring Yahshua forward, all the peace and all the blessings that can come from following the instruction of Yahshua's leader Micaiah, you know, the leaders need to really
who submits only to what Yeshua wants. You know, Pastor said, he said, I could correct all the world's problems in 2 to 3 moons. Why? Because we know who led and guided Pastor. No man, not even Israel. Listen, no man, not even Israel Hawkins, could lead and guide the nations without Yahshua directing it.
Right.
No man. None has ever lived. The only one that can bring eternal peace, joy, and abundant living is Yeshua Messiah.
Exactly. So that's what the whole point of this is. Any other way is going your own way, and that's what brings about death and destruction, going your own way. So, you know, there's the only tree that is the way, the true way is the tree of life. That's Yeshua. So, you know, the last point I want to leave you with, I'm sure Micaiah has something else to say, but the last point I want to say is Yahshua sustains flesh. So, you know, wouldn't you want to go with the man that sustains flesh and has and offers eternal life, rather than false leaders that don't even know
everything that's pure and clean and healthy and children? That we're going to have a lot of Yeshuas and Noahs, brothers and sisters. But you got to remember, there's only 5 wise and 5 foolish. Remember, 1/3 is going to come down off that hill because Hillel's going to cast them out.
Everything will be set back right under Yahshua's orders. You're not going to have the bad chemicals in the foods and that cause harm and destruction, the unclean things that cause the same harm, and the microbial diseases and problems from the sexual immorality and the other things that are going on. So, you know, don't listen to the leaders on the hill. Listen to Yahshua's servant Micaiah, and I'll let him close this out now.
Pastor, finishing out what Pastor, you know, the wicked on the hill will not be restored after the powder and ash, after they're turned to powder and ash. Moshe 3:2. All the prophecies were written by baptized servants and members of one of these 7 eras, from Adam all the way down to Adam, all the way down to now, that Yeshua chose and wrote about and spoke about. So, they're not, once this is over now, Nate, remember what that prophecy about they'll be left neither root nor branch. Remember that. Okay, so we're moving on to, that was kind of closing out pastors. We'll play these, play all this. Now we go to the announcements, okay? And then the women, they all said, they said, Micaiah, that guy sounds like a queer. That's what they said to us, didn't they? Mm-hmm. The closing announcements there. Wanted to talk about the dogs because they're trying to call us down here dogs. You see how Hillel uses that reversal, tries to reverse it. It's a year of reverse, Pastor said. The time period of reverse where the wicked beastmen going to try to reverse everything around. What they are doing now, what they have done, there will be, that's why the Father said, don't pity them. They are literally calling Yeshua and his family dogs. And that barking dog down there, we try to intrude down there, but Micaiah and all the ones that stay with him and around him, they pop out at 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning to hear that dog bark. His name's Kufa, short for Tekufa. It's a golden Tekufa season. And that real Passover, the real one here, is coming after their fake one on the hill. Y'all gonna flee here. You know how I know? It's written you will. They want to call everybody here dogs. But listen, piranha, you beast man, piranha, fish, unclean fish, that tears and strips the flesh off my people as my forefather Micaiah prophesied you would. Listen, you are the dog, piranha, that attacks the sheep, the cattle, our sheep down here, the people who are believing into this message, and Yeshua's sheepfold on the hill. These are Yeshua's sheep. And know this, piranha. Every sheep or cow or goat or lamb or animal owned by that hill belongs to Yeshua.
Not you.
Not you. And none of y'all queer beast men people over there. Queers have to side with the beast men. Because they want the revived Roman Empire. They want that same. It's the same ascending the 7 hills on Rome, piranha. Okay? So they want to call. So that dog Tekufa, that gold dog, he going to keep on barking this morning. Yep. But y'all are like dumb dogs, piranha. You're too goddamn dumb to bark a warning to y'all Yeshua's people, the one true seed. Matthew 22:10. G4. In the last days, in the house of Yahweh on the hill, everybody abroad.
They're the wolves in sheep's clothing.
Yeah, they're the dogs, the wolves. Aren't the wolves in Cain family? Same family as a dog, piranha. Too dumb to bark a warning to tell them of Revelation 18. But where has the voice of the bride and the bridegroom ever been heard before? Who's telling you to all come out away from these Daniel 8 and Revelation 17 and all through you can't get beast men who use a false BSCEP pretense of peace? Yeshua is the peace. And up to this point in this sermon, not one word of Yeshua Messiah, the King of all kings, of whom which his bride's number one duty and responsibility is to bring forth her husbandman. Revelation 18 is pointing to you, and you're the dumb dog, piranha. And my words are the 100% undisputed, irrefutable truth, piranha. Spy! Look out for anybody that might wander into the camp of Micaiah, the camp of Yeshua. Come back and let us know if anybody wanders off into that camp. Listen to that closing announcement from that bastard. It's what he is. The pastor had the scarecrow over there on the homestead, said, repent, proud bastards. Was he talking to Colombia or Panama? Was he talking to the little children that came to the lecture today that they sit up there and offer up to Molech to make war with this family? Hey, of course, the next week they'll listen to this sermon. They'll go to the children and say, hey, you ought to bring this right here. To plant a seed in the body's mind, like thinking, how this can't be no coincidence. Maybe these children must be telling the truth. Wake up. Them children that come to the lectern are coaxed and hoaxed and led astray by the wicked beast men. Okay. Closing prayer. Soon coming king. Again. Self-contradicting, saying that Yeshua's not come after Pastor told us he did. The scripture said he came. Did Yeshua come 2,000 years ago? Was the earth created for man, yes or no?
Yes.
Where would you want to be? Yeshua's not allowed to enjoy the fullness of the earth and all the Creator created, is he? He can't be a man. He's got to be a gassy God, doesn't he? Piranha. Pastor said he's here, but a queer don't want Yeshua here and his kingdom to come to full fruition, because there ain't going to be no queers in Yeshua's kingdom. There are none. Blessing, they ask for the blessings. They ask for the wrong reasons, Yeshua said. Remember, he said, you ask, but you ask for the wrong reason. They're asking for the blessings of Yeshua that you can only get through repentance and accepting Yeshua's kingdom and family here at the house of Micaiah Eternal, the Lamb's bride. Revelation 12. Only way you can overcome piranha and those queers and beastmen on that hill is through the testimonies of Yeshua Messiah that I bring in unity with me. There's no other way. I ain't perfect. I might complain and bitch and piss and moan. But what Yeshua tells me to do, I'm going to do it. I hob you all. And if I've offended you wrong in any way, I'll beg your forgiveness. But I will not beg you to forgive me if you are offended in this mess of this message, for it is a beautiful gemstone, the most beautiful gemstone there is. But to you, if it's a rock of offense coming out of my mouth, you will receive no apology from me. And then you ain't going to receive it from nobody here gathered under my headship. Okay? Praise Yahshua Messiah King. So, Pastor told us what blessings, Yeshua told us what blessings are. And if you ain't willing to lay your life down for Yahshua Messiah, they ain't, and you ain't piranha, Yahweh now is going to allow all those blessings he promised to the wicked to come upon y'all. What they did 22:10, that mixture. Oh boy, there's a final purging. That'll be reserved for the fire at the end of the age. I went through that this week. One of Yeshua's daughters said this. She said, please tell him this. She said, Revelation 12, Daniel 10, 13, and 21, Micaiah, Daniel 12 and verse 1, all these different places, it spoke about the work that Yahshua and Pastor have you doing now. You got to repeat that. I can't, I'll let you and the women, and I can't keep doing but this is the only work. There is no work of the Creator going on other than the work proceeding out of my mouth at this time. That work is Yahshua. He is the work to bring him forward, not yourself, piranha. That's what I was told to tell you by the women. They will be outside the gates. Piranha and them will be outside the gate. That's what the scripture prophesies where they'd be at, outside this gate. And they'll be begging to get in, saying, Lord, Lord, have we not done all these things by your authority, Lord? Well, piranha and them dogs outside the gate going to be saying, we'll call Yeshua and his family dogs. It's coming. Days away when you'll be gathered in this yard, you're going to look out that fence, and outside that gate, you're going to see piranha and all his funky cronies standing out there crying. Walk out there with them. You're going to make your choices here. Your tests are not yet come to full fruition yet. You're going to prove. We all must. I have to. No matter what would be said against me or occur, I will ahob Yeshua to the most extreme of any man I've ever ahobbed anybody. Then you'll make it. We'll all make it together with that mindset. Okay? Okay? So, and we all know what Yeshua said when they're standing at that gate pleading to come in. What will be said to them? Get away from me.
I don't know you.
I do not. You heard it. You heard Yeshua say it to you all. He just got through looking into the camera. Tell him. Do you know them men on the hill that's leading up there with them black hats? Do you know them?
We don't know.
Gold with a rainbow around them and white. Oh, they have eyes to see and ears to hear. I just would. Oh, man, I've tried. So, we're going to close out with one other statement here to try to warn the bride, the body of Messiah, and those that he's chosen as his faithful brides. I'm going to have Yadin close us out with his final thoughts and statements there. Because you told me when we were finishing up, you wanted to bring that. And I said, well, I'm going to let you do it. He said, okay, there it is. Now listen carefully. This is a prophetic warning.
This is for the carrot up there on the hill that
The carrot,
and the carrots up there, and for all those that they're in a situation that we had already explained, similar to Tamar's, that you have the choice, whether you're going to be caught in what these beastmen characters want you to be caught in. And remember, what was it? What was the character, the bulldog? She said, well, we're all going to burn or die together. Or who was that?
What was that character? It was Hillel.
Yeah, Hillel.
The frequency of Hillel, who said, we'll all die on this hill together. If you don't like what these beastmen are doing up here, we'll all die together. Right. Yahshua showed me right what they thought to kick me out. He said, look over and look at that woman.
So if you want to...
Hillel is up there with y'all. She is there. It's written. So, go on some more.
So
another 2 minutes.
Right. The point is that
2 more minutes.
You got a choice whether you want to be caught in it or you want to get out.
The fake Micaiah.
Right. Or you want to
bulldog bitch.
Right. Or you want to stay in there. And what's going to occur from that?
In his kingdom.
Right. There's going to be none of those things in Yahshua's kingdom.
Expound. Tear it down.
Warn. That means that any of the blasphemers, witchcraft, sodomizers, fathers and mothers sleeping with children, or another man or woman having an illegal affair was another man or woman that belongs to someone else, you're not going to have any place in Yahshua's kingdom. So, you can be like Tamar, repent and confess those things, or you can end up like Absalom and Amnon, for what they were doing, being destroyed. So, and hopefully that you'll see that following the beastmen characters, your eyes will be open, your ears will be open to understand. Following them is not going to get you into Yahshua's kingdom.
And they know everything that Yahadin is now warning you and exhorting you to righteousness to do, carrots. They know everything he is saying is irrefutable, undisputable truth. They know it. And that he has told me and Yahshua that
when they realize that
figured out.
Right, they realize when the carrot knows what they're up to,
and that they're just using the carrot.
And they're using this carrot
to try to destroy the carrot and abuse and steal from the carrot.
Right, to steal what belongs to the blessings that the carrot would have, and also
when the carrot figures that out,
right, and they're doing the same thing with the others on the hill. They're trying to take away their blessings that belong to them when they serve Yahshua under the disguise it's okay to sin. You go your own way. Just be like us, the leaders over there on the hill. That as long as you go along with us and don't expose then you'll end up just like Amnon. You'll be destroyed and and so you need to come out of her. Be clean, as Micaiah said earlier. You got to just come out of their sins and their fornications. Don't partake of the beast and those that are subservient to the beast and Hillel. Just come out of that false thing. You don't have to be caught in a situation to be killed or there's a lot of ways that you can be caught in a situation and never get out of it. And so I leave you with that thought in there, Micaiah. Is there anything else?
I believe that pretty much wraps it all up. Stay tuned. Yeshua willing, we'll be coming back to you within a day or two. We've got some things that's really been weighing on me about the book of Hosea and some other teachings. But this is going to go on. These classes will continue on. And when others come here to join themselves in this work, they will be going out in the sea of glass with the same message. Yahshua Messiah came 2,000 years ago. He has been come. He is come. He will always come to his own. Always. The test is whether you will receive him or not. Those men on the hill rejected him. This is his bride and family, the house of Micaiah Eternal, and all those will be gathered here under his headship. And we will work in unity to bring forth him and all those that we are instructed to glorify and bring forward under his express instructions here alone. Okay? So we thanks for tuning in. You need to go back through the course of this week and review it, go over it and over and over it. These are the true prophecies because they are about to be delivered. You all are about to be delivered. If you're the believers that have stayed tuned in through this whole thing, you're all about to be delivered into the hands of Yahshua Messiah here at the house of Yeshua, the house of Micaiah Eternal. Okay?
Praise Yahshua.
Praise Yahshua. Almighty Heavenly Father, Yahshua, a servant and a slave in your house, Micaiah Yaakov, along with my teacher and friend and brother and Yahadin, Yahshua, Yisrael, asking to approach your throne, Yahshua, in unity with all who are like-minded after the order of Melchizedek priesthood that you promised in the book of Hebrews, that you coined as Israel has taught us, that you wrote with your own hand, asking to come before you, us all being your seed, your servants, and your slaves, and your begotten sons and daughters in this message, Yahshua. Shabbat Shalom, great King Yahshua. We bless you and thank you for a beautiful, wonderful Sabbath day and the beautiful warm weather. We thank you for the physical food as you've prepared for us, and we have some food here, and also, first and foremost, the great spiritual food and these prophetic teachings that are now unfolding exclusively within your family and house exclusively, and mainly, first and foremost, King Yahshua. You, King Yahshua, are all. You are everything to us. This is your kingdom, and we work as your servants, and we offer ourselves up as your brides, as living sacrifices to do your work and will, King Yahshua. We ask that you would continue to open the eyes, ears, and the hearts and mind of any on the hill that would complete that number you want gathered in this greatest gathering, Yahshua, as that will be the finality when that final number is sealed up with this message that only you could open the seal and open up one's mind as it is written, Yahshua. And we bless you and we praise you, Yahshua, and we thank you for all things, great Yahshua. I ask that you would restrain the adversary and the intentions of the wicked beastmen on the hill and any abroad that might seek to harm you or your family in any way, and that you would continue to give your Malachim charge concerning the house of Micaiah Eternal, your bride. We trust in you, Yahshua. We don't fear those who can harm us in any way, rather him who can blot our name out from your book, Yahshua. You alone having the authority to judge and to sentence or to lead or to guide or place in and out of office whom you choose, Yahshua. And we praise you and bless your mighty name, Yahshua. We rejoice in you and in this message, Yahshua, and we thank you and bless your mighty name. We can't praise you enough, and we do ask that through this time period now that we're going into, that you would please continue to strengthen your people who are receiving this message, Yahshua, and who will be coming here to join themselves to this work. Enable them to make their final preparations, that they won't be looking to go back for their coat in any way, that they might be caught in the trap with the tares and burned with those who are saved for that burning at the end of the age. It is written as your words are written in the book of Matithia there, chapter 13. Just please be with us, Yahshua. Please cause your face to shine upon us, King Yahshua, and be merciful to us always. We do bless you and offer ourselves as living sacrifices. We do say to you, out of your house, great King Yahshua, the house of Yahshua, the house of Micaiah Eternal, the Lamb's bride. Hallelujah, Yahshua. Hosanna to King Yahshua. Praise King Yeshua.
Hosanna
Hosanna to King Yeshua. Hosanna to your
Praise
name.
Yahshua.
Praise Yeshua. Everybody, go back and review and study. My people perish, says Yeshua, for the lack of this knowledge. Until we all come to this full knowledge of Yeshua, you have to come to this. And if you're not willing to come to it, there is a time, and that time is approaching, where everything that they've wanted on that hill from Yahweh and all the promises he made to the wicked are going to be granted to them. Okay? Yes, you'll bless your understanding.